and we welcome you to Pittsburg, Kansas, the site of tonight's matchup between the Pittsburg Purple Dragons and your Chanute Blue Comets. I'm Brett Shields. Alongside with me here tonight, once again, Jay McGeary. And Jay, I think we're in for yet another exciting night of Blue Comet football.
I agree. I think it's going to be a good night. Good weather we got right now.
A little warm for my taste, I'm not going to lie. I was looking at the weather about a year ago. It had one of those days where it dropped down to like the 40s. I could have gone for one of those nights today, but nonetheless, here we are, and should be a fun night of football. As a reminder, this is a former SEK matchup. Again, independent Pittsburgh now, playing as an independent in football anyway, as they moved up into the 5A ranks. And a couple years ago, they went back down to 4A, but now back up to 5A. So they are listed in a bigger qualification of schools anyway, and they've got a much tougher road if they want to have any taste at a state championship this year. But Pittsburgh coming off a win last week. They traveled down to Altamont and came away with a 28-0 victory against the Grizzlies down there. However, that game was called at halftime due to weather. So I know some people probably say, 28, Pittsburgh being a 5A school playing against Labette, who Labette, not the traditional Labette. They're down a little bit this year. Keep in mind that was 28-0 at halftime, so that was on its way to potentially being a blowout. But weather, as we saw at the end of our game, got in the way of that one, so they decided to cut things short. And obviously, Chanute last week falling at Circle. Final score of that one was 20-12. Chanute just really struggled to get anything going, putting a complete drive together. I was looking back, their 2 touchdowns on offense. The first one was a 6-yard drive after the high snap on the punt, and their second touchdown was only about a 40-yard drive. So no really long drives for the Chanute offense, but nonetheless, I think Coach corrected some of those issues in practice this week, and we should see a little bit more high-powered offense from Chanute tonight.
I really hope so. I mean, that 6-yard drive, that was luck. If the kicker would have paid attention, they wouldn't have had the ball at 6. Yeah. So, short drive, but.
Yeah, that snap went over the punter's head, and he picked it up and just took off running with it. He had plenty of time to still kick it away, but chose not to. And something that you and I talked about during that game and mentioned even in the second half, Chanute, on that, it was a 2-play, 6-yard drive, and Chanute went spread the entire game except those 2 plays. They took two of the receivers off the field and brought in essentially 2 fullbacks, and then brought Dagan Dean in as a tight end position on the line of scrimmage, and just went full power. And I asked Coach this week if we might see a little bit more of that. And he said, yeah, potentially. We could see a little bit more of that once to switch things up and, not be so one-dimensional against this Pittsburgh team. This Pittsburgh team's going to have a little bit more speed than we saw from Circle last week. So he definitely wanted to be not so one-dimensional and maybe potentially use that power and strength they've got between the offensive line and as many skill position players as they've got, use them. On one other note, Jackson Combs, however, who started at running back last week, will not suit up tonight. I don't want to speculate too much. His coach didn't give me a whole lot of information. Had the ACL injury last year. Appeared to be a knee injury again. Coach did say he's not going to be out for the year by any means, but not going to go tonight. So we're going to give it at least another week to see how that knee's holding up.
Well, I'm old school. I still believe in 3 yards in a cloud of dust. So, line up and run the ball.
Yeah, and I think we may see that from Ty Leedy. We saw that in the second half. Ty Leedy wasn't afraid to lower his shoulders and just kind of go into that line of scrimmage, go into the pile and push. And we also saw Kedrick Imling a little bit. He wasn't afraid to put his head down. That's not to say that Jackson Combs wouldn't. You could tell he was feeling a little hobbled and just couldn't quite go 100% last week. But like Coach was telling me, I think we will get a little bit more of a variety on offense here in this one tonight.
Well, it'll be exciting to see. Hopefully we can complete the ball a little more. We had trouble, it seemed like, catching the ball early last week.
Yeah, early on there was definitely some drops, and that was a little bit of an issue early on, but hopefully that is out of the way. Week 1 jitters are gone, and I know this team amped up to play here week 2 at Pittsburgh, and don't want to make excuses, but you always wonder, did they overlook Circle just a hair because they knew, Chanute doesn't have a great history against Pittsburgh. Last year's game was essentially what we're used to seeing. Pittsburgh won that one last year. Double check here. I believe it was 34-10. That one was in Chanute. And a 24-point loss, and Chanute wants to figure out a way to kind of get over that curse of losing to Pittsburg, especially on the road at Pittsburg. Hopefully tonight will be the night where they can find one of those wins.
It would be awesome to see. I mean, a lot of teams come here and lose, so.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough place to play. Again, Pittsburg, a 5A school, so definitely a tough opponent. We're going to send it back to the studio for 1 minute. When we come back, a little bit more of our pregame show. You're listening to Blue Comet Football right here on Z95.3. Back here at Pittsburg Middle School, where Pittsburg High School plays their football games. And if you know the history of this field, Pittsburgh's played here for a long, long time. And a couple years ago, they put in the turf field, which I know, Jay, you played here a couple years ago anyway. It's been a while, but the old grass field, it was a tough field to play on for sure. But the new turf they put in here, it's a heck of a sight, and they've got pretty good facilities. Still got the old school brick bleachers. They've got the metal bleachers on top of them, but the brick wall, and definitely a fun place to call a game for sure, and a very fun place to play a game as captains out there on the field. We're about a minute or so away from kickoff, it appears. And for Chanute, let's see who the captains are out there. Looks like Cam Custer, also Nate Cunningham and Tucker Davis out there for Chanute. Let's see on the Pittsburgh side, we've got Grant Rolfs, Matt Smith, Andrew O'Doherty, and then, of course, Cooper Hayden, who will be the starting quarterback here for Pittsburgh tonight. We get the call from the official. Looks like Pittsburgh won the toss. They'll defer. So Chanute will receive the opening kickoff. And on that note, when we come back, we will be ready for the opening kickoff of this Week 2 matchup between the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons and your Chanute Blue Comets. We'll send it back to the studio. When we come back, we'll have that first half kickoff. You're tuned into Blue Comet Football right here on Z95.3. Just a quick one and then play the game open. Back here at Pittsburgh Middle School, the side of this one here tonight. Pittsburgh going to kick things off. The kick is off, and it's a deep kick going to be fielded by Leedy at the 7-yard line. Drops it, however, now picks it up. Leedy got room to run on the outside. Now stiff arm. Got one man to beat as he will be dragged down at the 48-yard line. And a great opening kickoff return by Ty Leedy. Didn't field it cleanly, but a heck of a job to make up for that as Chanute will start near midfield. And that is exactly the start the Blue Comets needed here to kick this one off.
Yes, it is. That puts us in good position.
Yeah. We saw a lot last week of short fields, or long fields, short returns on the kickoff, but good start here before the offense even takes the field.
We're back 4 wide to start with.
Yeah, Sean Williams will take over that wide receiver spot as Leedy will be the starting running back in this one. First play goes to Leedy, and he just runs into a brick wall. And it looks like it'll be about a loss of 1 on the play. Looks like Williams going to check out. Just didn't see who came in on that one. Looks like it'll be Emling. Emling now lined up as the slot receiver. He played took a few snaps at the tailback position. This one caught by Dean. A little bit of a low pass. Good recovery by Dean, though, to bring that one in. Gains about 4.5. So that'll set up a 3rd and about 7. As the Blue Comets do cross midfield. So Herb comes to the huddle with the play call. 2 receivers to each side. It'll be Dean and Williams to the near side. Seamster and Custer to the far side with Leedy in the backfield. Williams goes in motion. And Herb looking for something. Now got pressure. Now just going to try to throw it away. That one goes out of bounds. And good job by Herb just to throw it away and to avoid the big sack. However, that'll set up, it appears, a long 4th down. I can't tell if there's a flag on the field. There are 2 flags. Yep. There will be a flag on the play. It came out extremely late, however.
I think they're going to get him for intentional grounding because he wasn't out of the box.
They're saying that's not out of the tackle box?
Evidently not. I don't think he'd crossed the hash mark yet when he tried to throw that ball away.
I'm going to say that's a tough call, but nonetheless, it'll set up a 4th and very long now. So 4th, and they're going to put 25 on the board. So it'll be Colton LeCrone to punt, back deep to receive for Pittsburgh, Matt Smith. Punt nearly blocked. It's going to be a high punt, takes a good Blue Comet bounce, and it'll be down at the 25-yard line. So a punt of about 43 yards for LeCrone after the bounce. And Pittsburgh will start their first offensive possession at their own 26-yard line. As a reminder, Bridgewood offers comprehensive benefits, 401k, and competitive pay. Pick up an application at 908 West Chestnut in Chanute. So again, at quarterback for Pittsburgh, number 13, Cooper Hayden. They'll send 2 receivers to each side. In the backfield with Hayden is number 21, Grant Rolfs. Hayden gets a snap, going to be an option play, pitches to Rolfs. Rolfs gets tackled almost immediately. It looks like it'll be about a gain of 1. But good job by the defensive line for Chanute to sniff that one out quickly.
Good pursuit right there.
Yeah, two good guys that can run the ball as Cooper Hayden and Grant Rolfs. Obviously, Rolfs the tailback, but Hayden got a good set of legs on him as well. He can move the ball with his feet. So Hayden going to take the snap. True I formation. Going to be a quick throw. Somebody got a hand on that. It looked like Dagan Dean got a hand on that one at the line of scrimmage. Nonetheless, Hayden got quite a bit on that pass because number 23, Braden Benson, still nearly came away with that. But good job by Dean to get just enough of a fingertip. It looked like it messed up the spiral of that pass.
Well, that's what you work on. Get your hands up.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you can't get there, get your hands up.
And Dean making that transition as from a defensive back last year to DN this year. So 3rd and 9 As Hayden takes a snap, trips to the far side. He'll roll that way, looking to throw. Going to go to the second level and finds number 23, Braden Benson. This time completes the about 11-yard completion, and that'll give Pittsburgh their first down of the game. And that was a good job by the Pittsburgh offenses. They had trips on that far side, and it seemed the outside receiver went about 5 yards. That middle receiver went about 10 or 11 yards, and then the far inside just ran deep. And it had the secondary for Chanute kind of trying to figure out where everybody was going to go. So 1st and 10 for Hayden, tight end in motion. Hayden gets the snap, gives it to the fullback this time. Like that was number 40, J.J. White, on the carry. And White picks up about 3. So that'll set up a 2nd and 7 here for the Purple Dragons. Pittsburgh getting the play call in. Be a tight eye formation, 1 receiver to the near side. Hayden gets the snap, fakes to the fullback, now gives it to Rolfs, and Rolfs stuffed immediately. Great job by the Blue Comet defense. The defensive line doing a great job up front, and it looks like Kendrick Emling coming in and just plugging that hole where Rolfs wanted to go. Looked like no gain on the play. Sets up a 3rd and call it long 6. Might have gained about a half a yard on that play.
Got good push up front with that.
Yeah, defensive line looking much better here tonight than they did a week ago.
Yes, sir. I agree.
So shotgun set, 2 receivers to the near side, 1 on the far side of the field. Hayden gets the snap, fakes to his back, goes to the tight end, high pass, and good job by Seamster. Seamster was ready to lay the wood there and pulled up as he realized the tight end didn't come up with that reception. It'll be an incomplete pass, and it looks like Pitt will punt as that sets up the 4th and long 6. So Pittsburgh going to huddle up. It looks like Jackson McKechnie will do the punting duties. And, Jay, we saw him pregame. McKechnie, he's got a pretty good leg on him. He looked good. Kicking, punting, whatever it was. When that ball came off his foot, it had some bounce to it.
It did. He boomed it pretty good.
So Seamster will be deep for Chanute. Good snap. Very good kick. A little low. And Seamster going to field this one off the bounce. Tries to fade the defenders and going to go nowhere. As I'll give Seamster credit. If he lets that roll, it probably rolls inside the 10-yard line. So he did his job to make sure it didn't get any worse. But unable to avoid the tacklers on that one was Caden Seamster. So Chanute offense going to have their 2nd drive of the game. Their first drive started near midfield. And after an intentional grounding penalty, ended up going backwards. So hopefully this drive will end much better, potentially, hey, with some points on it.
I would be happy. I would be happy if we picked up positive yards right now.
So Herb in the shotgun set, trips to the near side. Looks like we're going to get an offsides on Pittsburgh. So that'll be 5 free yards for Chanute. Don't forget to call Ross Daniels of Daniels Auction Service for on-site or online auction sales, and let Daniels Auction Service bring you the highest returns for your assets. So 1st and 5 now. Same formation, trips to the near side. It'll be Leedy in the backfield. Snap goes to Herb. He gives to Leedy. Big hole up the middle, and Leedy finds it as he picks up about 9. And Leedy flies out of that pile and says, "Give it to me again. It's there, baby. Let me feast."
That penalty helped us get in front of the chains, and that's what happens when you get in front of the chains.
Yeah, absolutely. Just put your head down and go, and Leedy not afraid of that contact. We'll take that every day. Confusion in the backfield as it'll be Seamster lined up at quarterback now. Herb, Dean, and Williams now split out to the near side. Seamster gets the snap. It's going to be a quarterback keeper to the far side. There's a flag down. So in the meantime, it's going to be a gain of about 3, but we'll see what the flag is.
That looks like a hold right there.
Holding on Chanute. Obviously, we can't hear the PA when they're not really identifying numbers on the field. So Personally, I couldn't tell you who that one was on, but whatever it was, flag came out fairly quickly.
That was a very quick flag.
Somebody must have gotten beat quick. So that'll set up a 1st and 20 for the Blue Comets.
I mean, this is almost the same thing we did last week. Every time we got a momentum, we shot ourselves in the foot.
Got to avoid that. So Herb will go back to the quarterback position. Dean, Williams, and Seamster to the near side. Looks like it'll be a wide receiver screen, and good job by Pittsburgh sniffing that one out. Looks like that's number 7 for Pittsburgh, Austin McKechnie. And great job by the defensive back for Pittsburgh. As Chanute had a pretty good play design there, but McKechnie just able to avoid the blockers and get right to the legs of Dagan Dean. So after the 3-yard completion, sets up a 2nd and 17 for the Blue Comet offense. Going to go trips to the far side this time. Dean lined up as the tight end on the near side. Herb gets the snap. Going to give to Leedy. And Leedy really not much of anywhere to go. And it looks like that'll just be no gain on the play. So Leedy hesitated just a little bit after he got the ball from Herb, and just don't think the hole was there that time.
It looked like Pittsburgh got off the ball really, really good right there.
Yeah, timed the snap almost perfectly. So big 3rd and 17 here. Not a lot of plays in the playbook for that. Nonetheless, we'll give it a try.
Hey, I'm sure there's something in the playbook.
So Herb shotgun set. 3 receivers to the far side. Dean back in that tight end spot. Herb's running for his life. Going to be a screen. Goes to Leedy. And going to pick up, about 8, but that's only about half of what they needed. That'll set up a 4th and 9 and almost a sure punting situation. So Leckrone going to go from his left tackle position back to take this punt. And Matt Smith will be back to return once again for Pittsburgh.
That's the little things we need to do, like that middle screen. We use their speed to our advantage.
Flag down on the play. Not the best punt, but yet again another great bounce. And that one's going to be down at about the 29-yard line. We'll see what the flag is. As the officials communicating. It's almost got to be either illegal formation or somebody offsides. And, yeah, it appears it'll be an illegal formation on Chanute. And, yeah, if I'm Pittsburgh, I'm just going to make Chanute back up and repunt this because Pittsburgh had no opportunity to return that, and I'm sure they would like to have a chance at that.
Exactly, yeah. And we got a good roll out of that. That's a bad thing.
Yeah, that's 2 punts from Leckrone now, and neither one of them have really been pretty by any means, but both of them have bounced, 15 to 18 yards on the ground, and you'll take that extra yardage anytime you can get it.
That's where that turf helps. I mean, if it was the old dirt and grass that they used to have here, that ball would have just died.
Well, I don't know. It hasn't rained in a long time, so it would have been pretty hard.
True that.
So 4th and 14 now is Chanute going to punt once again. Snap to Leckrone, a little high, able to bring it in, and that one nearly blocked. And yet another good punt and another good bounce. And actually this one going to favor Chanute by, about 1.5 yards maybe.
Hey, you can't beat that.
Essentially the exact same thing, but Pittsburgh now on 2 of the 3 punt attempts have gotten within inches of blocking a punt. If you're Chanute, you cannot feel comfortable about that at all. And also at Cardinal Drug, you're probably there to drop off a prescription because you don't feel very well. But don't forget to come back and browse their selection of seasonal decor and gift ideas when you do feel better.
They were awful close to roughing the punter there, too. I mean,
does that come with an automatic first down?
Automatic first down.
I'll take one of those. So Pittsburgh going to line up in the I formation again. Cooper Hayden under center. Ball's going to go up the middle and essentially nowhere, maybe 1 yard out of that one. As that was Rolfs on the carry. Again, good job by the defensive line and also the linebackers. Looks like Emling and Leedy there just plugging those holes up the middle.
Dean did a good job of crashing down the end of that line, forcing that runner back inside.
Yeah, great job again by Dagan Dean, as we mentioned the last drive, making that transition from the secondary to the defensive line. That's not an easy thing to do.
No, not at all.
Tight end going to go in motion. Defensive line going to shift that direction. It's going to be a sweep to Rolfs, following his blockers, and one tackle away from breaking that one loose. Good job by Cam Custer to take out the legs of Grant Rolfs. As Rolfs picks up, we're going to say about 7 on that one. So that'll set up a 3rd and 2 for the Pittsburgh offense. So got to expect 3rd and short here. Pittsburgh offense probably going to try to run something right at you.
You would think so. And we got really lucky that he got tripped up, because if not, he would have been off to the races.
Yeah, tight formation here, although a lot of skill position players on the field. And we're going to get a flag on the play. And they're going to call a false start. The players got set and all went in motion together.
That had to be one of the interior linemen moves.
Yeah, somebody had to have bobbed their head just a little too much, and the official didn't like it, because the 4, we'll call them skill position players, receivers, tight ends, however they were lined up, they all moved in unison, which is legal. So, yeah, as Jay mentioned, one of those interior linemen had to have moved a little bit. So 2 receivers split out to the near side, 1 to the far side. Hayden going to get the snap, going to roll out to this side. Now going to look to run, now throws it away and throws it way over the head of his intended receiver. That's tight end number 14, Tyler Sutton, the 6-foot senior. That one falls incomplete. That'll set up a 4th and 7, and Pittsburgh going to punt once again. So the Chanute offense really not doing much, but the Chanute defense doing its job here so far. Again, this is a Pittsburgh team that scored 28 points against Labette County, all of that coming in the first half of that game. And this one's still scoreless here by both teams, as we are about 9 minutes into this one.
Yeah, defense is really getting off the ball and causing a little bit of havoc.
So punt for Pittsburgh, and Seamster down there is going to let this one bounce. And that one will be down at the 32-yard line. So decent field position for Chanute on this one coming this way. And Commercial Bank focuses on bringing you products and services that simplify your day-to-day life. Serving Southeast Kansas since 1874. Contact the Chanute branch at 620-431-3200 or stop by 1315 South Santa Fe in Chanute. So the offense for Chanute, seen one good run play, the 9-yard run by Leedy. Outside of that, it's been pretty much sideways or penalties going backwards.
Well, the middle screen that we ran right there at the end of that last one, I think we need to run that a couple more times.
Had the potential to break. So 2 receivers to each side. Herb gets the snap, going to give this one to Leedy, and Leedy just goes backwards. Leedy's going to lose about 2.5 on that one, as the interior of the offensive line just could not hold up for Chanute that time.
We're going to have to get out on the edge more.
But yeah, going to see if they can't force those defensive ends to crash a little bit and find a way to get outside, as Jay mentioned, because outside of that one big run, just hasn't been there on the inside. So trips to the far side. It'll be Dean by himself here to the near side. Herb in the shotgun set, going to look to throw. He's got time, going to take a deep shot this time, looking for Seamster, and that one's going to be picked off. And there's a flag on the play. And yeah, it looks like the defensive back, Matt Smith, might have pushed off of Seamster to make sure he had enough room to catch that ball. We'll see what the official call is from the White Hat. Going to get a hold on the defense. So before the pass was attempted, which, okay.
Hey, I think he was holding him the whole time going down the sideline.
So that'll
from our vantage point.
Yeah, that'll be a 10-yard penalty. So they'll mark it off. And that will come with an automatic first down. Yes, no?
Well, I thought it did, but evidently not.
It's going to be 2nd and 12, no automatic first. So, 2nd and 2 after the 10-yard penalty. And I like Herb taking the shot, you know.
Hey, absolutely.
Why not? You had the time to stand back there and throw. So shotgun set once again. Herb going to roll out and going to complete this one to Seamster. It was bobbled, but it looked like Seamster might have brought it in.
I know, they're saying incomplete.
And didn't bring it in before his feet got out of bounds. So, yep, like Jay said, incomplete. I'd like to see him catch that cleanly, but, hey, I'll give Seamster a little bit of credit. Stuck with it and nearly pulled that one in. So big 3rd and 2 here. Going to go trips to the far side. Dean, the tight end, tight on this one. Herb gets the snap. Going to have offsides on the defense, so that'll be a first down for the Blue Comets. Good job there by Herb on the hard count, trying to get Pittsburg jumping. Remember to get connected with high-speed, unlimited internet on QuickCom's network, built with reliability in mind. In town or in the country, get connected with QuickCom Communications, 1-800-379-7292.
I mean, maybe we shouldn't be afraid to use that hard count a little more.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's a little antsy on that defensive line. Looks like they're about a couple of those guys are about a half a step back now. It's going to be an end around to Seamster. Good job trying to find the hole there, and Seamster just tripped up. Good tackle there. It's Rolfs for Pittsburgh stepping in, and Seamster was doing a great job. It looks like Seamster might have taken a hit there in an area you don't like to get hit. He will go back to the huddle. So 2nd and 11 after the 1-yard loss. It'll be trips to the near side again. It's Custer, Williams, and Seamster. Dean set up tight to the left side. Now Seamster going to go in motion into the backfield. And the give will be to Seamster. Seamster going to try to bounce it outside, trying to break tackles. Now gets picked up, still going forward nonetheless. And it'll be a gain of about 1, as Seamster was airborne there for just a minute. But definitely seeing the playbook open up a little bit more here in this first quarter against Pittsburgh. Again, 40 seconds to play here in the first.
Yeah, they've definitely ran some stuff we didn't see last week.
Yeah, for sure. Which you expect to see that as the season goes on. You want to have your offense become a little bit more dynamic. So Herb shotgun set, 2 receivers to each side. Williams going to be the man in motion. Fakes the give to Williams. Pass is going to be, looks like it's intercepted. Trying to see who that was on the interception. Looks like number 13. That's Cooper Hayden, who's also lined up at quarterback on the offense. But good job by Hayden to get the pick on defense. And, yeah, Herb just leading his receiver, Dean, just a little bit too much on that one. Even if the pass was completed, I don't think it would have been enough for a first down. However, it might have made things interesting because it probably would have set up a 4th and probably 3.
Right. It would have definitely been decision time.
So it appears we've got a timeout on the field. I'm not sure who called the timeout, or if
might be an official timeout for water.
Is this a water break?
It could be with the heat.
Yeah, it looks like both teams just kind of going to their sidelines and getting a drink. And if anybody wants to bring one of those bottles of water up here, feel free, because it is a hot one out here tonight. I think it got up to 92, 93 today. It's supposed to be like 97 tomorrow, which is well above average here in Kansas once you hit mid-September. I mean, we're not supposed to be seeing 90-degree weather at this point, but here we are, sweating our butts off,
right?
Watching high school football. But, yeah, a timeout. I guess they're going to just say an official weather timeout or water break. But, hey, make sure they stay healthy out there.
That's right.
We did see a lot of cramps last week, so I'm sure this was probably predetermined between the two teams that, hey, make sure we avoid cramps. Everybody stays hydrated out here. As a reminder, it's cheaper to buy a month-to-month policy from Associated Professional Services than it is to pay to get your license back after getting a DUI. Call Peggy Davidson at 431-9699. So 1st and 10 here for the Purple Dragons, their own 49-yard line. This is, I believe, the best starting field position Pittsburgh has had so far here tonight.
Yeah, it is.
Hayden going to take the snap. Looked like an option. Now going to pull it back, look to throw. Trying to avoid the defenders and doing a good job following his blockers. He'll end up picking up about 1 yard, and that will probably be the last play of the first quarter. So at the end of one, still scoreless here in this one, as the Blue Comets fighting with the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons. We're going to send it back to the studio for 1 minute. When we come back, we'll have second quarter action. You've been tuned in to Blue Comet Football right here on Z95.3. Back here in Pittsburg, Kansas, where the Chanute Blue Comets and the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons still scoreless here as we start the second quarter. 2nd and 9 for the Pittsburgh offense. Tight end goes in motion. Hayden under snap, going to fake the pitch, now gives to this fullback. And the fullback, that's number 40, J.J. White. Not Watt, J.J. White. J.J. White a little bit smaller than J.J. Watt. White going to pick up about 4, sets up a 3rd and 5 here. And I wouldn't venture to say that this could be 4-down territory for Pittsburgh unless they really just want to pin Chanute deep. But
well, I think we need to watch out for that rollout. The last couple times on 3rd down, he's booted out to the outside and tried to dump that little 5-yard pass off.
All right. Jay Romo in the booth calling the shots here. Snap goes to Hayden. It's going to be a quick pass to his inside receiver, breaking tackles. Ball comes out. And
still loose. I think Chanute got it. Yes, sir, they did.
Cam Custer, the one to fall on it. And that was a great play for Pittsburgh, it appeared. But the last second, that ball got punched out. And after multiple players from each team having an opportunity to jump on it, Cam Custer going to be the one that comes away with it. That'll be 1st and 10 for the Blue Comets as they set up shop at their own 23-yard line. That was big momentum shifter right there because, man, I was just getting ready to say that could be a backbreaker for Chanute, as that looked like it was going to be a really big play for the Pittsburgh offense and might just give them all the momentum. But great job there to stay with the play and Cam Custer to finally fall on that ball.
That might have been the break we needed right there.
So penalty flag on the play. Somebody just went a little early. It looked like Chanute going to get charged with the 5-yard false start. So that'll set up now 1st and 15. As Chanute starting to have an issue with shooting themselves in the foot.
Same problem we had last week.
So 2 receivers to each side. Caden Morley in there at receiver now. Herb going to give it to Leedy. Leedy trying to break tackles, but looks like he's only going to muster about 1 yard on that carry. So 2nd and a long 14. 10:45 to play here in the second quarter.
Who had that last carry for us?
That was Leedy on the 1-yard carry. So trips to the near side. Custer, Morley, and Williams. And Herb going to roll out. Just trying to get out of there. Now going to look to throw it away. And it's intercepted and that one's going to go back for a touchdown for Pittsburgh. And unfortunate mistake there for Eric Erb, as thought he had a receiver with an opportunity to make that catch. And ended up throwing an interception. And, yeah, the coaching staff for Chanute extremely frustrated right now, as there was a late hit on Eric Erb and very easily could have been roughing the passer, not called.
Well, that's the young man that fumbled the ball in the last play, so he atoned for his mistake.
Make up play for him, but Coach Frizzell livid on that far sideline, as he wanted a penalty flag on that one. Hard to blame him, as Erb got rocked at the end of that play. So Pittsburgh goes up 6-0 with 10:20 to go here, pending the PAT. Erb walking off the field under his own power, so looks okay for right now.
I think his pride's hurt more than anything right now.
Potentially. So good snap, good hold, and the extra point is good. So Pittsburgh going to go up 7-0. Again, 10:20 to play here in the second quarter on the pick six by Austin McKechnie. So we talked about needing to slow down the Pittsburgh offense, and Chanute still able to do that, but unfortunately giving up 7 points to the Pittsburgh defense. The Chanute offense going to have to go right back out onto the field and correct that, as, again, Erb's best decision on that one was probably to throw that one out of bounds away, but Eric Erb, the junior quarterback, I know his mentality is he wanted to make a play, wants to make things happen, and that's just kind of part of learning this game and figuring out what the right play is. The right play may not always be the best looking play. Sometimes you just got to throw it away.
And live to fight another day.
Yeah.
I mean, another play. But like you said, he's young, junior quarterback. He will learn from his mistakes and hopefully make him a better quarterback.
So Pittsburgh going to kick this one off, as Jackson McKechnie will handle the kicking duties. Good angling kick, as Leedy will field it at the 10 and misses this one as well, just like the first one. Decent recovery, excuse me. Leedy has yet to field a kickoff cleanly, but racking up the return yards. Whatever works, man.
Whatever works.
So Chanute offense, again, going to have to figure out how to correct the offense here, as Erb is back in the huddle. As a reminder, at Cardinal Drug, you're probably there to drop off a prescription because you don't feel very well. But don't forget to come back and browse their selection of seasonal decor and gift ideas when you do feel better. So correct me if I'm wrong, that's Seamster at quarterback. Going to be a quarterback take. Seamster going up the middle. And great job there by Caden Seamster as he picks up about 10.5. We'll give him 11 on that one. And he picks up a first down for the Blue Comet offense, as Erb was in on that play but was lined up at receiver.
Just a note, Cherryville is leading Blue Stems 7-0 at the end of the first quarter.
All right, good for the Chargers down there in Cherryville. So it'll be Seamster at quarterback once again. Erb going to be lined up as the slot receiver. Snap goes to Seamster, going to run it again. This time going to try to go to the outside. Picks up about 3 on that one. So offense still going in the right direction with Seamster at quarterback, although it's been back-to-back running plays by Seamster.
Nothing wrong with that as long as he stays in front of them chains.
So is this when you do it again, except Seamster puts his head down, fakes the run, and then steps back and just lobs one over the middle?
Why not?
Well, it looks like Erb's going to be at quarterback, so that's why Coach Frizzell's calling plays and I'm up here. So 2 receivers to each side. Erb gets the snap, going to give to Leedy. Leedy following his blockers, doing a great job of it as well. And looks like he might have enough for the
little short.
Yeah, near side official is going to spot that at the 48. The far side official was about a yard ahead, but then went back, as the near side official did have a better look at that. So going to set up a 3rd and 1 And this is one of those plays that put your quarterback under center and just push.
That's right. Move them chains again.
Don't do anything fancy. Just get the first down. So it will be a tight set. Looks like Costin and Emling in there at the fullback position. Yeah, Herb going to take the stop and just push. Chanute going to pick up about a half a yard.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think he got there.
It's going to set up 4th down. It's still going to be, looks like essentially no gain. So 4th and about a whole yard. So interesting play decision here for Chanute. The offense will stay out there as we reach the 8-minute mark of the second quarter. Again, Pittsburgh leading this one 7-0.
If I was calling a play here, I'd put Seamster back there at quarterback and tell him to do what you did earlier.
Yeah, it'll be the same formation. Dean set up at the tight end. Costin and Embling at fullback. Leedy at the tailback. And great job by Eric Herb on the hard count. And Pittsburgh jumps off sides. Great job. I'm questioning whether Chanute even had a play call.
Great call.
It makes you wonder if it was just go up there, everybody stand still, Eric just keep yelling hike until that play clock gets to 1 and we'll call timeout.
Well, I mean, even in that aspect, you could take the 5-yard penalty and still punt it away and not hurt it there. So,
whoa!
They called that on Chanute?
Oh my goodness! Who on earth did they call that on? Oh, man, that's a tough break for the Blue Comets as Pittsburgh took the defensive tackle out of the game that committed the penalty. I mean, everybody on the field thought that was on Pittsburgh. So, 5-yard penalty on Chanute. They'll punt. As nearly blocked once again. Very, very high punt this time. Not going to get as near good of a bounce, and it'll be down at the 34-yard line that time as Caden Morley will down that one. The turn of events here is it looked like Chanute's offense was getting an easy first down after the penalty. But penalty goes on Chanute instead. Forced to punt, and after a short punt, Pittsburgh will take over at their own 34-yard line.
What a crazy set of events right there.
He just felt like, okay, Chanute's offense, finally a couple plays, we got a good penalty, and then, man, tough break. So 2 receivers to the far side for Pittsburgh as Cooper Hayden under center. Going to give to his tailback, Rolfs. Rolfs following his blockers. Good job by the Chanute defense. That one going to go for about 3 yards. The hole was there, but Chanute defense, a good job to recover and plug it extremely quickly.
Well, the defense is doing a good job of keeping their offense from getting in any kind of rhythm.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, 7-0. We're almost halfway through the second quarter. Pittsburgh up 7-0, and those 7 points have come from the Pittsburgh defense, not the offense. So Chanute defense doing just fine to this point. Trips to the near side. Man, the receiver moving around there. And going to be play action as Hayden going to keep this one. Great job. Caden Seamster just comes up and takes on Hayden man-to-man. That'll be a 2-yard loss. Yeah, that was a great tackle there by Caden Seamster. Sets up a 3rd and a long 8 situation with 6:10 to play here in the second quarter. Again, Bridgewood offers comprehensive benefits, 401k, and competitive pay. Pick up an application at 908 West Chestnut in Chanute.
Big 3rd down here for the Chanute defense.
Get off the field here and get the football back. Hayden looking around. Got 2 receivers the far side. Gets the snap. He'll roll that way. As looks like we're going to get a hold here on the near side. Hayden looking to throw it away, and now he completed that pass. That was a heck of a catch.
Yes, it was.
On that side of the field. And Coach Frizzell is livid on that sideline. He didn't think that was a catch. He is absolutely livid, but none of that's going to matter as there's a hold here on this near side. That'll push Pittsburgh back 10 yards. Whether or not his feet were in bounds or not, that was a heck of a catch.
It was a great catch.
That was Grant O'Doherty, the 5'9" sophomore receiver. Great hands. Don't have to question that. Whether your feet in or not, that was a heck of a catch. Now the hold on this near side, I believe that was number 78, Treman Wesley. Correction, Michael Fernandez, the 6'2 junior, 6'2", 290 pounds, and looked like Dagan Dean had gotten beat on the play and was on the ground, and Fernandez laid on top of him, which borderline legal. I mean, that's kind of the way they used to teach you to do it, but he was blatantly laying on top of him right in front of the official, and Fernandez had about 60 pounds on Dean, and eventually the flag came out. So it's going to be a quarterback keeper, and oh my goodness, decleated that time as Colton LeCrone comes in there and takes Cooper Hayden right off his cleats. And might have to check the field and make sure those cleats still aren't out there, as LeCrone just came crashing down. So what was at one time looked like Pittsburgh might have a little bit of a potential to start a drive here. Now facing 4th and 23 and in a punting situation, as Jackson McKechnie will handle those duties. Good snap and nice high spiraling punt as Seamster calls for the fair catch. He'll bring this one in at the Chanute 43-yard line.
Good field position again.
Yeah, good field position. Good job by Seamster to make sure he got under that and made the fair catch. I know last week at Circle there was 2 or 3 punts that he would have had to hustle to get over there to field them, but in not doing that, they hit the ground and bounced like 20 more yards, and the coaching staff was not pleased with that effort. And so good job there by Seamster to make sure that one didn't roll any further. So as Jay mentioned, good starting field position. Chanute at their own 43-yard line as we've got 4:34 left to go here in the first half. See if Chanute can't find a way to even this one up before we go into halftime.
They're back with Seamster back at quarterback again.
Seamster at quarterback. Seamster gets the snap. Going to take this one to the left side. Now trying to break tackles, and will roll over the defender. That's a bad spot as he was laying on top of another guy. But so going to be no gain. So sets up a 2nd and 10 here for the Blue Comet offense. Yeah, I like Seamster back there, what he's shown at quarterback, but at the same time, every time he's been back there, he's run the ball.
I think they need to let him just rear back and throw it one time, no matter if he completes it or not.
Just to keep the defense off,
absolutely
honest at this point. So Herb now back at the quarterback spot, gets the snap, and good protection. Going to air this one out. A deep pass as Dean tries to come back for it. And, yeah, I'm good with no flag there as he tried to come back. Yeah, Pittsburgh defense trying to get a flag there. And, yeah, just underthrown a little bit to Dean. And I thought the defensive back actually did a pretty good job of avoiding the contact on that. There's a lot of times when the receiver stops and then the defensive back will run into him, that's an easy way to pick up a free penalty. But good job there in the secondary. Looked like that was Matt Smith for Pittsburgh.
And that was Dean almost had that ball. It was right there in his hands.
Close, but not quite.
Been a big momentum shift.
Oh, yes, it would. So 3rd and 10, trips to the far side. Herb going to roll out that way. He's got Williams, not there. Herb going to look to run. And a late hit. And that flag comes out, so that'll be a first down. Pittsburgh crowd not pleased, but, yeah, that hit came way late.
Wow.
And that's the second time. I'll say this. That was clearly late on that one. But I feel like if Herb gets hit on the sidelines close after that interception earlier, and Chanute was clearly unhappy with the no call there, I feel like if there was anything close, Herb was probably going to get the call at this point.
Right.
But that one was blatant.
Yeah, he was definitely on the white.
He was borderline on the purple on the other side of
right.
The white. So that's a 15-yard penalty, going to set up the Chanute offense at the Pittsburgh 40-yard line. We've got 3:38 to play here in the second quarter. So 2 receivers to each side. Herb gets the snap, got some time, going to fire this one out to Seamster. Seamster looking to break a tackle and will get thrown forward It'll be a gain of about 9.5, so almost a first down. So good job there by Caden Seamster to bring that one in. Seamster, again, just the sophomore. Sophomore receiver. Had a pretty decent week last week. And now doing it all, playing receiver, have a couple plays at quarterback, handling the punt return duties, playing a little bit of defense as well. So 2 receivers at each side. Herb shotgun set with Leedy beside him. Herb going to keep this one and looking for something, and now Herb going to run out of bounds, and at that point, I was going to say throw it away, but it looked like he had a couple linemen downfield, so actually it might have been best that he didn't throw it away.
Right, yes.
So that'll be about a 5-yard loss. Sets up 3rd and about 7. And 2:52 to play here before halftime. Chanute trying to find a way to even this one up before we head to the locker room. So 2 receivers to each side. Herb shotgun set. Going to look to throw once again. And this one's going to fall incomplete to Seamster as, Cam Custer was coming wide open over the middle of the field. Herb just missed him. So 4th down, 2:48 to play here. It looks like the offense is going to stay on the field for right now. We'll see if they stick with that. As I don't hate this play call. Pittsburgh's offense really hasn't been able to show that they can move the ball either at this point, so why not take a chance with your offense? Pittsburgh also has been really close to blocking multiple punts.
Oh, yes. Pittsburgh had to burn time out there. They had 12 guys on the field.
Yeah, that almost makes it even more worth it here. So Pittsburgh will have one less timeout as they attempt to drive down the field if Chanute is unsuccessful on this play here. So big play coming up, 4th and 7, Jay. What are you going with?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, every time we boot out, they pressure us. I mean, he had a lot of time that last time we completed that 9-yard one in the pocket. So just stay back there and wing it.
Yeah, in the words of the great Chris Collinsworth, I just didn't know how good these players were. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. If you watched last night's game, just listening to Chris Collinsworth say he didn't know how good of a player Matt Stafford was. I couldn't help myself, Jay.
Well, a guy been in the NFL 11 years.
Yeah, So, again, 4th and 7 here. Big play for the Blue Comet offense. I think, obviously, you're probably going to be looking to throw. I think you've got to probably have, looks like it's going to have Kester and Seamster on the near side. Maybe have Seamster stay inside and have those 2 guys cross and maybe look for Custer over the middle of the field. Or I could see that pooch punt. As crazy as that sounds.
Yes.
Because Chanute's going to get the second half kickoff. Or excuse me, they will be kicking off. Herb going to keep it this time and not going to get enough. I'm okay with the play design. But Herb going to come up about 1.5 yards short as it was wide open there for a minute, but good recovery. Looks like that was number 42 for Pittsburgh. That was Andrew O'Doherty, the 5'11", 200-pound senior. So good job on that one for the Pittsburgh defense. So they'll set up 1st and 10 for Pittsburgh with 2:42 still on the clock.
With all the speed Chanute has, I don't know why they don't run that little play that the Kansas City Chiefs would run where the quick receiver
pass
comes in motion and you just flip it to him as he runs forward.
I could see him doing that.
I mean, use your speed to your advantage.
So tight set here for Pittsburgh. Hayden going to pitch this one to Rolfs. Rolfs barely fielded that one cleanly. Breaks a tackle, now trying to spin out of it, and Rolfs going to pick up about 10. Looks like it'll be enough for the first down. The clock will stop momentarily at 2:34. So Pitt offense, going to see if they can get a drive here before halftime to add to this lead. 1st and 10 from their own 42. Hayden in tight once again, pitches to Rolfs once again, and Rolfs not going to go near as far this time, as it'll be a gain of about 3. Clock still ticking away. Again, Pittsburgh having to burn that one timeout on that fourth down play. So just the 2 timeouts for Pittsburgh as we hit the 2-minute mark here in the second quarter. So a little bit more spread out set here. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. I set formation. And Hayden going to pitch this one. It's going to go outside to Rolfs. Rolf's going to be tackled after a gain of about 5. So the Pittsburgh offense now moving a little bit. Unfortunately, they don't have a whole lot of time to play with. And Pittsburgh actually going to take a timeout right here with 1:35 to go. And the ball is exactly at the 50-yard line. So ball at midfield. Pittsburgh needs to go 50 yards for a touchdown. One thing I will note that we mentioned a little bit, Pittsburgh has a kicking game.
That they do.
Chanute, we saw last week, doesn't really have much of a kicking game. They attempted an extra point. That one was missed wide. It was a decent snap, not the best hold. I mean, the whole system of the play just didn't go smoothly. And then their second opportunity to kick an extra point, down by 1, they chose to go for 2, had the opportunity to kick the extra point, tie it, and decided to go with just the 2-point conversion. So it appears the Chanute kicking game not going to really be there this season. We'll see a lot of 2-point conversion attempts. However, Pittsburgh, young man by the name of Jackson McKechnie, he was pretty consistent from about 40 in.
Right.
I mean, so you're talking, if you can get it to the 17 to the 20-yard line-ish, you probably give him a chance. So Hayden going to throw on this one, nearly picked, and still caught somehow on the sideline as that one made its way into the hands of number 14, Tyler Sutton. Cam Custer saw 6 the other direction.
He did. It was right there in his hands.
That one went right through the hands of Cam Custer. Custer, frustrated with himself right now, that was 100% 6 points the other direction. So 1st and 10 here now for the Purple Dragons from the Chanute 44-yard line. Hayden going to roll out once again. Going to look to throw this time. That one broken up. Great job by Caden Seamster on the far side of the field. Seamster getting in there and breaking that one up. And that will stop the clock with 1:23 to play here in the second quarter. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Pittsburgh as they are, again, looking to add to that 7-point lead. And, again, if you want to be the kind of person that compares opponents and whatnot, this Pittsburgh team had a 28-0 lead on Labette County just a week ago, and that game was called at halftime. 2nd and 10 here. Hayden going to look to throw once again. Going to set his feet, taking a deep shot this time. And Williams looking to recover. And no flag on the play. Whew. That's a tough no call. I'm not saying it was a penalty, but, man, Williams must have timed that just perfectly as he got a hand in there on the ball, but I don't know that he was necessarily attempting to make a play on the ball.
Yeah, but I think the official saw the hand between the receiver's hands, and
he
that's why he let him play.
He got his hand in there and deflected it, but the fact that Williams never turned his head around, I can tell you right now, at the next level, the flag's coming out every time on that play just because Williams' head never turned around. So 3rd and 10 here, 1:16 to play. Flag on the play, and going to get a false start on the offense, so that'll set up a 3rd and 15 now from the Chanute 49-yard line. So big play here, 3rd and 15. Be anxious to see what Pittsburgh does, as I imagine they're probably not thinking about getting off 15 here. If you can get 10 or more, you would set yourself up into a position to go for it on 4th down. So trips to the far side. Cooper Hayden, high snap, goes over his head, and it's a race to the football as Hayden smartly just falls on it. And see if Chanute takes a timeout here. Yeah, looking like Chanute going to take a timeout smartly, as this is going to set up 4th and a lot. 4th and 35, I believe. 10, 20, 35, yeah.
Yep. He lost 14 on that, right? Or 20?
Lost a lot. So 1 minute and 1 second on the clock as Chanute uses their first timeout. And I don't think I need to say this, but a sure punting situation here for Pittsburgh. As I mentioned earlier for Chanute, not a lot of plays in the playbook that go 17 yards. There's essentially no plays in the playbook that go 35 yards.
No.
So teams will talk about it. Chanute going to set up their punt return, and actually it looks like they have 2 returners back.
I think they're just discussing something. He's coming up to the line.
Probably discussing what they're going to have at Applebee's after this game. Oh, that's us.
That's us.
Never mind.
And honestly, I mean, I think if it was me with 108,
you'd go with the wings?
No, I would go with the block.
Oh.
I would go for the block, all-out block.
So McKechnie will punt. And Chanute appears to be setting up return. As good job by Seamster as, hey, he had the Pittsburgh punt team convinced he was going to catch that ball that went out of bounds.
He did.
So, clock says 102. When the play started, it said 101.
No, it said 108.
108? Okay, 108. It said 101 at one time. Must have run down before the timeout, and they corrected it. Okay. We're on the same page, Jay. Just took different routes to get to that page. So, clearly an offense that likes to throw the ball, but we've yet to see them put a complete drive together. It will be Kedrick Emling, the tailback this time, not Leedy. So Herb, shotgun set, 2 receivers to each side. Herb just going to keep this one, going to go up the middle, picks up about 4. Clock still running, now down to 52 seconds. Chanute going to go no huddle. And Leedy on the field, but set up at receiver. And Chanute going quickly. Herb going to look to throw. This one's going to be short. So it falls incomplete as it was intended for Leedy. So no yards on the play. However, that does stop the clock at 41 seconds. So 3rd and 5 here for the Chanute offense. And again, I feel like we've said this all night, but what to do in this situation is if you don't get this, you're probably looking to punt. Pittsburgh has been mere inches away from blocking just about every punt you've had. Or you could just score on this play. That'd be fun, too.
That it would.
Herb gets the snap, gives it to Leedy at the middle. Leedy's got room to run. He's still fighting off tackles, gets inside the 30-yard line as he will be tackled at the 29. Clock will stop momentarily as we're at 34 seconds. And looks like Chanute will use one of those 2 timeouts. I don't know about you, Jay. I'm one of those guys that's in favor of getting up there and spiking it on first down. But you got 2 timeouts. Might as well use one of them here.
I'm a fan of you just got that big run and you gassed him. Get up on the line and let's run the ball.
Get up on the line and do it again.
Right.
I'm with you there, but at the same time, 34 seconds, it's going to be hard to run the ball a whole lot here. That was a gutsy play call.
It was.
With such little time and wanting to score. Now you're at the point where I don't think you're quite ready to take some shots at the end zone, but maybe if you can get one more first down, use that timeout, and if you've got 15 seconds or so, then you've got maybe 2 plays to take shots at the end zone.
Right.
As a reminder, call Ross Daniels of Daniels Auction Service for on-site or online auction sales, and let Daniels Auction Service bring you the highest returns for your assets. That's 620-431-8536.
Well, this is a big play right here. If we can stay in front of the chains here and not shoot ourselves in the foot.
Well, if you don't get a first down, you got to remember the clock's going to keep moving unless you get out of bounds. We'll expect a pass play. Yep. Herb will look to pass. Pressure coming. Got all kinds of room here on the near side. Yeah, stay near that sideline. And good job by Herb as he gets out of bounds, and he'll pick up, we'll say 3.5. 3.5. So not the worst play in the world. 27 seconds on the clock now. Again, clock stopped at 27 seconds. Chanute with 1 timeout remaining as they trail 7-0 here in the second quarter. This is the best scoring opportunity that Chanute has had so far. 2 receivers to each side. It'll be Emling and Dean on the far side. Now Emling going to come in motion, and it's going to be a swing pass to Leedy. Great job to get upfield. He will get enough for the first down. So the clock will stop momentarily. Looks like Chanute's going to get up and go. Wouldn't be surprised to see the spike right here. And clock will now start. So Herb shotgun set, and they're going to look to throw. Going to go quickly. That one goes through the hands of Leedy. Even if he catches it, he might have gotten tackled before he got to the sideline, so that wasn't the worst thing.
No, that was a break.
Stops at 8 seconds, while the snap was at 18 seconds. I don't think that play took 10 seconds.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, it looks like somebody on the sideline just looked up to the press box, signaling time. 12 seconds. That's a little better. Great job by the officiating crew. I think the officials have been pretty decent here tonight overall, calling a good game. And, yeah, on the clock even right there. So right. 12 seconds on the clock. Chanute has the ball at the 18-yard line. Herb gets the snap, going to look to throw. Now scrambling to the right side and going to throw this one out of bounds smartly. And that'll stop the clock at 6 seconds. So this will essentially be the last play. And I hear the coaching staff yelling there's no receiver over there. I don't know how much more out of the tackle box you can get than touching the hash marks on the sideline, but
you still have to have a receiver in the area.
Not if you're out of the tackle box, get to the line of scrimmage.
I believe you still have to have a receiver.
All right, well, we'll look that up after the game. Nonetheless, it's 3rd and 16, but I think everybody here knows this one has to go into the end zone with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So Herb gets the snap, going to throw it up as he's got Dean over there. As it falls incomplete, but 1 second as that one went quick. So we will have one more play.
Hey, nothing like having another shot.
And the Pittsburgh coaches on the sideline just looked up into the box, and obviously you have a home scorekeeper. That's who controls the time. And I believe the Pittsburgh coaching staff looked up and said, "What the not-so-nice word," to his timekeeper. So a little frustration there from the Pittsburgh sideline. You'd think that was frustration if Chanute scores on this play.
Oh, my goodness.
The Pittsburgh sideline might erupt.
If they score on this play, that timekeeper might not have a job.
Find somebody else for the second half. Trips to the near side. Herb going to look to throw. Flag out on the play. Man, Herb had all day, so conveniently the flag comes out.
Oh, they're going to back us up 5.
Yeah, let's say a false start. I bet Pittsburgh was suggesting a 10-second runoff, but the clock's not running, so that doesn't include a 10-second runoff. So it's going to be 4th and 21, but for what it's worth, it's essentially 4th and 29 because this one needs to make its way into the end zone. Although, yes, you essentially have a Hail Mary situation, you've also got to avoid an interception that goes the other direction.
Or interference in the end zone to give you another
so
shot.
So Herb going to run for his life. It's completed to Leedy, but Leedy nowhere to go. Still breaking tackles.
Still on his feet.
And much confusion as I don't know what they're going to say he stopped. Man, I never saw any part of his body touch the ground. Great effort there by Ty Leedy, but nonetheless.
They're having a conversation about it right now. So we might be coming back. We don't know yet.
We'll keep it here for a minute at least.
I don't understand.
I think they're just signaling how much time is on the clock for halftime. So they will say Leedy was down. Apparently a knee or elbow at some point hit the ground. So at halftime, it will be 7-0 with Pittsburgh on top. We're going to send it back to the studio for 3 minutes. When we come back, we'll have a little bit of a halftime show for you. You've been tuned in to Blue Comet Football right here on Z 95.3.
Was that Leedy?
We welcome you back into the press box here in Pittsburg, Kansas, where Pittsburgh Purple Dragons leading the Chanute Blue Comets 7-0 here after one half, and it's been a defensive struggle, to say the least, as not only has neither offense scored in this game, the only 7 points coming from a pick six on, I'm not trying to put anybody down, but what came on a pass that probably never should have been in the play of field. Herb was rolling out and had really nothing there, and saw his receiver for just a split second and tried to throw across his body and ended up into the hands of Austin McKechnie for Pittsburgh, who took it about 23 yards the other direction for a touchdown. And, that's I enjoy when we have games that are high scoring because there's a lot more to talk about at halftime, because that's what everybody loves to see and hear are stats, numbers. Everybody wants that. I mean, Pittsburgh scored 28 points last week against Labette County. That's what they're used to seeing.
Right.
Their offense couldn't score. They, for what it's worth, could barely move the football against Chanute's defense. So a much improved, and also to keep in mind, if Chanute played like this last week, Chanute's up 3 touchdowns at halftime.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, this is a completely different Chanute team we're seeing this week, and it's a completely different opponent we're seeing this week, which you have to factor that in. Last week, Circle, probably a middle-of-the-pack 4A school. Pittsburgh, probably a top 12 to 14 5A school. And that's just because there's so many loaded schools in Wichita and Kansas City.
Right.
If it was schools like Pittsburgh, there's talent in this town. The problem is half of them go to Colgan, half of them go to Frontenac, and then Pittsburgh kind of gets what's left, and they still field one heck of a 5A team. So sitting 7-0, here at halftime. Chanute defense, nothing to really worry about. Keep playing your game. Chanute offense, we've seen spurts here and there, a good play, a good run, a good rollout, good blocking. Put it together all in one drive and find a way to get 8 points.
Right. Well, in the first half, Chanute's defense has only give up 100 yards in the whole first half. I mean, the defense is playing really well. It's just we can't seem to move the ball. Every time we start to move it, we shoot ourselves in the foot, get a false start, a hold, we're backed up, we're getting in 3rd and long, and it's we like you said, there's no play in the playbook for 3rd and 15, 3rd and 17.
Yeah, there really isn't. And Jay, if you want to go through some of the other stats for both teams here, if you want.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Herb was 15 of 16 for 32 yards with 2 interceptions here in the first half.
5 of 16.
5 of 16. What did I say?
15 of 16.
Oh, well, I tried to make
had to
him
go
sound
15
good.
of 16 with 2 picks.
Well, I was trying to make him sound good. I mean, and Dean had 2 catches for 7, and Leedy had 2 catches for 16 yards, and Seamster had 1 for 9. But we're just not moving the ball. I mean, we had a total of 18 carries, and we got a total of, not even 60 yards on the ground. So, I mean, at times we flash brilliancy. It looks good. And then we have a good play, and then we're shooting ourselves in the foot.
And this is an interesting score. I was trying to find some scores here, and this one kind of caught me. Just to kind of go back a little bit before I give you this score. Again, last week, Chanute and Circle. Circle wins that game 20-12. Neither team really looked great. I mean, it clearly looked like a week 1 game for both teams. Agreed?
I agree, yes.
But, I mean, neither one of those teams, Chanute or Circle, were picked to finish top 10 in 4A in the state of Kansas. But McPherson's preseason ranked like 4th or 5th. They lead Circle at halftime 10-0.
Wow.
Yeah. I think, and obviously unofficial stuff, but Chuck Cheney, who's the sports writer over at the Butler County Times-Gazette, he does like spreads on the high school games just for fun. And I think he had McPherson like a 28.5-point favorite over Circle, which, let's be real, if you're a 28.5-point favorite, they think there's going to be a running clock essentially in the second half.
Right.
McPherson was picked by everybody to win that game. The fact that it's 10-0, that shows that Circle is a pretty tough team this year. And the fact that might show that maybe Pittsburgh's a pretty good team too, and Chanute's hanging with them. this game's by no means over. I know a lot of people
no.
said, it's easy to look at the SEK, and we didn't really talk about this yet, but last week was not a good week for the SEK. If you check the SEK standing, Chanute's in first place. Because if you remember the old SEK, Iola and Columbus, they're gone. They're not in the SEK anymore. Pittsburg is an independent as a 5A school, and Parsons is an independent as a 3A school. So that leaves Chanute, Coffeyville, Independence, Labette County, and Fort Scott. Chanute scoring 12 points last week and losing is in first place because they're the only SEK team that scored points. The 5 SEK teams were outscored a combined 181-12.
And some of those games were called at the half.
Yeah, and 3 of those games were called at half because of weather. That's not a good look for the SEK. But maybe they were just playing really good opponents because Chanute, again, they're playing a Pittsburg team that had Labette County, again, beat them 28-0, but that was a game called at halftime. Just 7-0 here, and essentially should be tied if it wasn't for the one defensive touchdown by Pittsburg.
On a note, Cherryville leads Bluestem 35-0 right now.
Yeah, again, everybody leads Bluestem at halftime this year. Bluestem's had a tough time since they've made that transition into the SEK, or the Tri-Valley League.
Well, it's the long bus ride.
Okay,
that's what we're going to go with.
You can go with that, and
for Pittsburgh, Hayden was 3 of 8 passing for 40 yards, and the 2 interceptions, like you said, the pick 6, and then the other one right here at midfield, that just stopped all the momentum we had built up right there.
Yeah, and it seemed like Chanute had that opportunity to score right before halftime, but just couldn't quite get it done. But Pittsburgh will receive that second half kickoff, so Chanute defense going to be put to the test once again. And a couple more scores real quick for you, Jay, and those listening or watching. Area scores: Eureka leading Erie 14-0. Also, Butler, Missouri leading Fort Scott 18-14. I was trying to see if I could find any other area scores. Parsons is leading Iola. Again, those both were SEK schools. Parsons just a couple years ago. Iola, you go back 10, 12 plus years ago. But that one, Parsons 19, Iola 6. So a good game there going on. I believe that one was in Parsons. Don't quote me on that.
I believe Iola was in the SEK when I was in school.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah. They were in the SEK a long time ago. For the people around Pittsburgh, Colgan leading Galena 6-0. Also Girard nearby leading Baxter Springs 28-0. And I think as far as area schools, Caney Valley 22, Neota Shea 0. Not much of a surprise in that one.
That's a lot closer than I thought it'd be.
Yeah, Caney's got a really good team this year. Augusta and El Dorado, again, 4A schools, not exactly immediate area, but those are teams that will play like Circle. They're in the same league as Circle. Augusta 7, El Dorado 0. Again, El Dorado beat Independence last week a lot to 0. And then Augusta beat Coffeyville a lot to 0. So those are two schools that kind of had their way with the SEK last week going at it. And looks like that's about all I've got as far as area scores right now. We'll try to kind of keep you updated on anything that gets close. As those games get late third, fourth quarters, we'll see if we can update you at least on the close games as we see them come through. And don't forget, here on Z95.3, tomorrow night, kickoff between Kansas State and Southern Illinois. That one kicks off at 6 o'clock. We'll have the action right here on Z95.3 for you. Pre-game, I think it's a 2-hour pregame, starts at 4, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but kickoff of that game is at 6 o'clock tomorrow night as the Wildcats look to go 2-0 this season. Again, former Blue Comet Ty Bowman playing receiver up there at K-State. And, he's progressing his way through the roster slowly but surely, but I think might get some reps on special teams this year and obviously a chance to kind of make his way into that receiver depth chart and maybe make an impact for the Wildcats here in the next year or two when they're taking on those Big 12 opponents like Brigham Young and Cincinnati and Houston and Central Florida, as those 4 schools have joined the Big 12. I believe 2023 was the first year that would happen. But shows a minute and a half or so on the clock. Again, the teams will have 3 minutes to warm up, which is especially helpful. on nights like this when it's, mid-80s at 8:15 in the evening. It's completely dark, but just sopping wet with humidity and heat. And I'll tell you what, those Week 7, Week 8 games, when at kickoff, it's like 47 degrees. Those are the games that I'm ready for.
Well, you're talking about Central Florida joining the Big 12. Just think the Kansas teams will enjoy going down there when it's 30 degrees here at home, down to Florida where it's nice and toasty.
That'll be convenient when KU has a Thanksgiving weekend game at Central Florida. The 0-11 Jayhawks will be able to go down to Central Florida, and that'll be the highlight of their season. Is hey, we got to play in some decent weather when it was turning cooler, but
maybe they'll send us down to do the game.
Hey, I'll do it. I'm all for it. I'll go watch KU. Nothing better than watching the Jayhawks lose. Although, hey, Jayhawks are 1-0 right now. They're playing against Coastal Carolina. I don't have an update on that game.
It's probably a good thing.
Well, actually, a little closer than I thought. 28-15. Sorry if I ruined that for anybody that was recording the game. Although I guess it is on ESPN2, thanks to Coastal Carolina.
Right.
Last week, KU had to be on ESPN Plus, but to all those KU fans, I'm sorry. No disrespect to the Jayhawks. Says I have many friends that have gone to KU and great school. I'm just a K-State guy, if you can't tell. And I think it'll be a fun season between football, basketball, everything. Those two schools just, when it comes to athletics, don't like each other a whole lot. Jay's an OU fan, so we won't talk about that at all. They almost lost to Tulane, so. But here tonight, hey, you about blew that one. But here tonight, again, Chanute Blue Comets trailing Pittsburg 7-0 here at the half in what has been a defensive dogfight here through the first 24 minutes of football. We've got 24 minutes to go. We're actually going to send it back to the studio for about 2 minutes. When we come back, should be ready for the second half kickoff. You're tuned in to Blue Comet Football right here on Z95.3.
Actually bring us some water.
Back here at Pittsburg Middle School, the site of this one between the Chanute Blue Comets and the Pittsburg Purple Dragons. We're just about ready to start the second half here in this one. And again, 7-0. Pittsburg on top of Chanute halfway through this one. And as a reminder, Get connected with high-speed, unlimited internet on QuickCom's network, built with reliability in mind. In town or in the country, get connected with QuickCom Communications, 1-800-379-7292.
Commercial Bank focuses on bringing you products and services that simplify your day-to-day life, serving Southeast Kansas since 1874. Contact the Chanute branch at 620-431-3200 or stop by 1315 South Santa Fe in Chanute.
So again, Pittsburgh will get the second half kickoff as Pittsburgh won the toss and they elected to defer, which has Chanute received the opening kickoff. So Pittsburgh here going to get this one to start the second half of play. So kicking off here will be Caleb Buchanan. Nice kick. That one fielded at about the 17-yard line. Good stiff arm there by McKechnie, and he will be pushed out of bounds at about the 29-yard line. So that's where the Pittsburgh offense will start this drive. So Chanute defense going to go back to work as they had a near-perfect first half. Again, the Chanute defense holding Pittsburgh scoreless, as it was a pick six that led to the 7 points for Pittsburgh.
Well, hopefully we can get a little something like we did last week to start the third quarter and have a break go our way.
Yeah, it was a good second half adjustment, even though the Blue Comets came up short in the end. So first play going to be a tight formation. It's a pitch to Rolfs, and Rolfs going to get stuffed as it's like he'll get one on the carry, but then was immediately pushed back. So that'll set up a 2nd and 9. And as Rolfs just picked up the 1 yard.
That's very generous of you.
Of me?
Yeah, because I don't think it didn't look like he moved at all to me. But.
Oh, I didn't put the ball down. That was the officials.
Well,
if it was me, I would have said like a loss of 7. But that's why I'm in here again. I'm not.
That's right. That's right.
So again, one receiver to the far side. It's going to be a run up the gut to Rolfs once again, and Rolfs going to be essentially shut down. I guess he'll pick up a few more yards that time. It'll be a gain of about 4. So 3rd and a long 4 here on this one. Well, Pittsburgh offense getting the call. That was a very detailed play call. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side here for the Purple Dragons. Tight end going to split out a little bit. Now going to come back in. Hayden gets the snap. Going to look to throw as he rolls out to that far side. He's going to go to the tight end as he beat Leedy. And that pass again was caught by Tyler Sutton, the 6-foot senior. And Sutton going to pick up about 8.5 on that one. It'll be enough for a first down for Pittsburgh. 1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line.
I was just getting ready to say to watch that boot to the side with those receivers. It seems like every time on third down.
Third down, yeah, they're becoming a little bit predictable on third down. Well, seems like 3rd and 5 or more. It's kind of that.
It's always a boot. Yep.
That same rollout.
Now we're going to go back to the tight formation.
It's tight formation, as Jay said. The I formation. Hayden gets the snap. Going to be a pitch to Rolfs. Rolfs going to try to cut it back upfield. Great job by the defensive line.
That's number,
it's number 64, Tucker Davis, the first one there. As Davis just pushing Rolfs backwards. Everybody a little slow to get up. It looks like everybody's okay. Look like on the bottom of that pile as well was Jacob Aguilar. So great job by Aguilar and Davis to sniff that one out. So sets up a 2nd and 11 after the 1 yard loss. Two receivers to the far side. And it'll be Sutton, the tight end, down here on the near side of the field. I formation. Hutton going to roll out, and his running back went the opposite direction. A lot of confusion there. And pretty good job there by Cooper Hayden to try to make something out of nothing because he looked a pitch and nobody was there. I kind of wish he would have just pitched it because that could have been
the break we was looking for.
Yeah, that could have been a huge break for Chanute. Again, it was about this time, maybe a little bit later. Again, we're at the 9:05 mark, but it was pretty close to this time last week when Circle had that snap go over the head of their punter. And that's how Chanute got their first points of the game. So Chanute looking to find another break here. Trips to the near side, so expect a rollout this direction. Yep, Hayden going to roll out this way, look for the screen to the running back, and he's got all kinds of room on the far side. Flag comes in as an illegal block in the back. It looks like that was Sutton on Dean, as Dagan Dean got clipped. I think that's Dean. They're on the other side of the field. Actually, looks like that might be Williams. Sean Williams got clipped on the far side of the field, but I believe that was the tight end Tyler Sutton with that illegal block. So 3rd and 12 will likely become 3rd and you're going to mark it from that spot, I believe. 22. The 10 yards comes from the spot, but I think the foul was essentially right at the line of scrimmage. So, again, they'll set up a 3rd and 22 and take away the block. That was actually a pretty good play design by Pittsburgh as everybody came to this side of the field except the running back, and he had some room to run. So same play design as Hayden going to roll this way. Now going to look to throw high, and it's nearly picked as I think that one hit the ground as it was Morley.
Man, close.
Caden Morley, and hey, he did a good job trying to sell it. He had that thing trapped against the ground and just tried to slide it and scoop it straight up and show the officials, but both the official on the sideline and the deepest official in the middle of the field both came in saying that one hit the ground.
They were right on top of it.
Yeah, good job by the officials. Again, officials have been doing a pretty good job here tonight.
They have. Bang up. I mean,
did you say bang up?
Bang
up job?
Yeah.
So punting formation. Again, 8.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. It's a high snap, but this one fielded. High spiraling punt. As this one will hit the ground, take a Pittsburgh bounce, and now roll down to about the 33.5, maybe the 34-yard line. I see, 34-yard line is where the official will spot that one. So pretty decent field position, all things considered. At high spiraling punt, got a little bit of a Pittsburgh roll, but after that penalty pushed Pittsburgh back. Chanute will start their first possession of the second half here at their own 34-yard line. And again, Chanute scoreless through 2 games in the first half. However, able to get 2 touchdowns last week in the second half. The way their defense is playing, 2 touchdowns might be enough to win this one. So snap goes to Erb. He'll give it to Leedy. Leedy up the gut, and he'll pick up about 2 on the carry. That'll set up a 2nd and 8 for the Blue Comet offense.
I thought we was going to get lucky. It almost looked like we was going to have another snap over the head.
Yeah, it was a little high and just kind of sunk right into the punter's hands, although he still had to reach up and get it. But I think you and I were both thinking, man, is this the way the season's going to go? Because that snap was a little high, and I think we both just went, deep breath. This is that break. But Blue Comet offense going to see if they can do it without the help of the Pittsburgh mistakes. Williams going to go in motion. Erb looking to throw, and this one's going to be blown dead. This looks like we'll have a false start on the offense. So that 2nd and 8 will turn into 2nd and 13. And as Jay mentioned in the first half, just got to avoid kicking yourself in the foot.
We seem to have done it a lot in this game.
Yeah, it happened a couple times last week, a couple times this week now.
We better get up to the line. 8 seconds on the play clock, and we're just coming out of the huddle.
Yep, clock down to 3, now 2. Erb gets the snap at 1, gives this one to Leedy, following his blockers, got room to run. Leedy breaks a tackle. He's at the 40, no one to beat. He's going to take this one all the way. Touchdown, Blue Comets. No flags on the field. Ty Leedy from 69 yards out. Blue Comet offense in action here tonight.
Nice play call. Hey, way to rush up to the line and snap the ball.
Yeah, 1 second left on the clock when that one got snapped. And once Leedy saw a little bit of green in front of him, he decided to take off and go with it. And it looks like we will have a kicking game. And I noticed that on the first kickoff of the game here for Chanute. It was Caleb Buchanan, who only position he's listed at as kicker. He was not with the team last week, or wasn't kicking anyway. Good snap, decent kick, and that one sneaks over the goalpost. As I don't know if that one wasn't tipped, as it was ugly and wobbling. But the Blue Comets have tied this one up with 7:10 to play here in the third quarter, 7-7. And I wouldn't say they've put a whole drive together yet, but just that little momentum. That's the first offensive touchdown by either team. Pittsburgh has yet to show that they can do anything like that. Just that little spark. We'll see if that's enough as the Blue Comet section on that far side, considering it's, an hour and 15 minutes to get over here and to the field. Pretty good support section over there by the Blue Comet fans.
Right. And, hey, with the way it's been going, I'll call that a drive. I'll take that as
Call that a drive? All right. Was that a 2-play, 3-play drive?
That was a 3-play. Well, technically a 2-play drive because we had the penalty.
All right, 2-play drive. You know what? We'll take it. It works. So 7-7 here in this one. Again, 7:10 to play in the third quarter. Chanute looking to come in here to Pittsburgh and, for all intents and purposes, pull off the upset. I know it's a 5A school, and you schedule teams that, hey, you plan to win every game. You never go into a game with the mindset we're not going to win, but everybody knew that this is probably the toughest opponent on your schedule in the regular season, not to mention the history with Pittsburgh that Chanute has, which isn't the greatest in the world. It's not the worst, but they've won a few games, but Pittsburgh definitely the upper hand. But, hey, 7-7 here midway through the third quarter, and it's going to be a high pooch kick, and that one's going to hit the ground. Chanute a chance to fall on it, and ball's still live. I think Sean Williams is on it. We'll see the call. First down, Chanute. Right. Great job. Sean Williams getting down there to fall on that ball. And Chanute with incredible field position as they'll be set up at the Pittsburgh 29-yard line. If you thought Chanute had some momentum before, look out, baby. Chanute has all of the momentum here in this tight ball game.
That's the little breaks they needed right there. Ball bounces off a returner, rolls around, we fall on it. Good position.
And how about the kick there by number 11, Caleb Buchanan, who, again, didn't kick last week, but a perfect pooch kick. Kicked it where nobody else was. Yeah. Ball just rolled around. Pittsburgh couldn't field it. Now Chanute offense on the field. Split receivers each side. Herb, the snap, gives it to Leedy. Leedy up the middle once again. And all of a sudden, the running game right up the gut is working for Chanute as Leedy picks up about 7 on that one. So that'll set up a 2nd and 3 for Ty Leedy. Again, Leedy just coming off the 69-yard touchdown run.
They need to ride him like a bell cow. Just keep feeding him the ball.
So.
I don't know what happened to him at halftime, but he is putting it on him right now.
Must have had some of Ty's special stuff. So it'll be Seamster at quarterback. I'm actually okay with this, the way Leedy's been running. If you can get both of those guys running the ball, that could be something special. So Seamster takes the snap. He's going to follow Leedy. Going to go into that hole. Looks like he will get enough for the first down. It'll be close.
Yep, they say move the chains.
Yep, move the chains indeed. So first down, Blue Comets, as they get inside the red zone, lined up at the Pittsburgh 19-yard line. And we mentioned at halftime that this is a different Blue Comet team than what we saw a week ago. This is an entirely different team that we saw 30 minutes ago of real time.
Right, absolutely.
This offense looks good.
This is the offense I've been expecting to see right here.
Yeah, we've been talking about this offense. Herb gets the snap, gives to Leedy. Leedy some room once again. Initial hit.
Keeps him legs driving.
He got hit after gaining about 2, but Leedy, like you said, kept those legs moving. And it looks like Pittsburgh going to have an injured player on the field, but Leedy will pick up about 3 on that one. Looks like we're going to have a cramp, actually. As we talked about that. Oh, looks like there was a flag on the play. I missed that one.
I must have missed it, too. Okay, so Guess we're going to back it up 5.
And Chanute players being told to go off the field as there is the injured player. I can't see a number on the player. It appears to just be a cramp. But we talked about it in the first quarter when they took that water break. I assume that's what that was, is neither team was charged with the timeout, and really it was kind of an awkward stoppage because they stopped it with like 10 seconds left in the first quarter. But nonetheless, they stopped. Everybody kind of got a drink, and you want to keep guys hydrated in nights like this. We've mentioned it at halftime, and then we mentioned it back in the first quarter. It's hot. It's hot, and it's humid.
It's very hot.
And that's prime conditions for getting cramps, especially if you're not properly hydrated, which week 2, I mean, you've got to drill that in your players' minds. Drink water, drink water, drink water. And I get it. They're 16, 17. You're going to be walking around school with my pop. I got my Coke. I got my Dr. Pepper.
That's right.
Like, water. Drink that water. There's nothing better than that water. Speaking of feeling good, at Cardinal Drug, you're probably there to drop off a prescription because you don't feel very well. But don't forget to come back and browse their selection of seasonal decor and gift ideas when you do feel better. Remember, that's Cardinal Drug. So getting stretched out. Still couldn't quite see a number on the player.
I believe it was 21.
Yeah, that's Rolfs, who starting at running back and then linebacker on the defensive side. Kind of been all over the field tonight. So 1st and 15 for the Blue Comet offense. Trips to the near side. Herb going to get the snap. Gives to Leedy again. And Pittsburgh sniffs this one out much quicker. Maybe a half a yard on that one for Leedy. So 2nd and 15. And again, it's clear that Chanute does have a little bit more of a kicking game than we mentioned earlier. But based on that extra point,
I don't know if I'm turning him loose to kick a field goal.
I'm not kicking a 40-yard field goal at this point, but 20, 25, maybe if it.
Well, maybe he's better farther back.
Never know. So trips to the near side again. Herb in the backfield, gets the shotgun snap, fakes the handoff, looking to throw. Going to throw this one up for Dean, and Dean nearly comes down with it. I thought he had it. It looked at the last minute. That one comes out as he hit the ground, and great attempt by Dean to go up and get that. Again, Dagan Dean listed at 6'3", 195 pounds. Unfortunately, Matt Smith, who's guarding him, just 5'9", 185, was able to contest that pass. So giving up nearly 6 inches there, but Dean unable to come away with it. Sets up the 3rd and 15 play.
And you really don't need to get it all here.
No.
Basically, you're 4-down territory.
Absolutely. Yeah, 3rd and 15, and you're probably looking to get 8 to 10 of it here. Set yourself up in a 4th and manageable. 2 receivers each side. Herb going to run, following his blockers. Now gets outside, got some room. Herb to the sideline, can't stay in bounds. And Herb, who saw the front pylon, just barely gets pushed out of bounds. And yet, just sick to his stomach that he didn't score. However, 1st and goal, Blue Comets. After
5.
Yeah, what was that, a
19-yard
run by Eric Herb, and good patient run as he was able to follow Ty Leedy, who went in that hole first. Picked up the linebacker, and that allowed Herb to bounce that outside and pick up the final 15 or 16 of that 19-yard gain. So 1st and goal from the 5. Chanute looking to take the lead here for the first time tonight. It would be their first lead of the season.
See, that's the different wrinkles that I was talking about. I mean, we didn't run that a lot last week.
Yeah, play clock down to 4 now. And Chanute looking to take a timeout smartly.
Yes.
As Herb got up and I think saw that play clock and thought, this is probably a necessary time. Our defense is playing well. The offense is clicking. The last thing we need is to go 10 yards instead of 5 when it's not necessary. Let's burn this one a little early. And Blue Comet offense is going to have some time to talk about what they want to do here as they've just got 5 more yards to go in search for that first lead of the season.
Associated Professional Services. It's cheaper to buy a month-to-month policy from Associated Professional Services than it is to pay to get your license back after getting a DUI. Call Peggy Davidson at 431-9699.
So both teams huddled over on their sidelines, and this will be the first deficit Pittsburgh's had all year. Again, they had a shutout. That was the first points.
They have gave up all year, yeah.
That just kind of clicked in my head, that long touchdown run. was the first points that Pittsburgh has given up all season.
Well, Herb needs to remember here, he don't have to get all 5 yards on one play. Let's not make a mistake and throw the ball in the end zone or something. Let's be smart with the football here.
So 1st and goal from the 5. It'll be a tight set, although 4 receivers in the game. Everybody just lined in tight. Herb in the backfield, going to look to throw. Looking at Leedy. Pass will be complete. Leedy leans inside, picks up about 2. Well, maybe just 1.
Let's see where they put it down at. Oh, somebody's down. Is that Leedy that's down?
It's definitely a Chanute player, but it's a cramp again. It's like that's Tucker Davis getting somebody stretched out on the field. And, yeah, I hate speculating, but I don't see Leedy in the huddle. And it's exactly where the play happened.
Right.
So regardless, Leedy will have to come out for a play.
Right.
Even if he does get this stretched out, he'll have to come out for a minimum of 1 play, which switches things up just a little bit. That's, again, Leedy, not your primary back. Jackson Combs, week 1, went in as the starting tailback. Combs unavailable tonight as he suffered an injury last week, we believe, to his knee. I don't know if that's lingering from last season or not, but nonetheless, not available to play tonight. Should be good to go at some point this season. But Leedy has done a great job filling in those shoes. And then Leedy, who had been lined up at receiver, that spot's kind of been filled in, mainly by Sean Williams. We've also seen Caden Morley and Kedrick Emling out there as well. So it'll be Williams, Seamster, and Custer to the near side. Dean to the far side. Herb in the shotgun set. Herb going to go to the right side. It's going to be a quarterback run. Now going to throw last minute and pass incomplete. Man, Dagan Dean was over there all by himself. But Herb just couldn't quite get it there to him. And now it looks like Pittsburgh's got a player on the far side of the field who's getting stretched out.
You know, unfortunately, this is what I was talking about. We're getting too cute down here. We got 4 yards to go. Let's line up and run it down their throat and score.
I wonder if part of that was with Leedy off the field.
Well, surely we have other backs that can carry the ball. I mean,
I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying that was probably your primary guy that you wanted to go up the gut.
Right.
I mean, yeah, you've got Emling back there who I'm sure you trust to go up the gut, but
right
at that point you've got to remember that Emling is your third back.
Seamster, I mean, stick him back there, hand him the ball, or line up and run what we've been running with him up the middle.
Yeah, anybody can do it. Again, Emling is a senior, 5'10", 160 pounds, so obviously you trust that guy. He's been in your system, but this is a Blue Comet offense that, I mean, their number one, their bread and butter is the throwing game right now. And even though the only touchdown tonight, I know you're going to look at the stats and say, well, Ty Leedy had a 69-yard touchdown run. Okay, they have, but this team went into the season with the thought of, we've got athletes all over the field. We're going to spread it out. We trust Eric. He's our guy at quarterback. We know he can put it in the hands of whether it's Cam Custer, whether it's Dagan Dean, whether it's Caden Seamster, whether it's Ty Leedy, whether it's Sean Williams, whether it's Kedrick Emling. And we do this all day because they got athletes on the field. They've just got to get it to them, and they've got to find that space.
Well, but you notice my old school football is what got us a 69-yard touchdown.
Yeah, how's old school football working out for Nebraska?
Well, hey, we're not worried about Nebraska right now,
that worked out great in the 80s and the 90s. Jay's up here frustrated that they're playing on turf now.
It don't bother me that bad.
And breakout leather helmets, too.
Well, I'm amazed they have lights.
Oh, this is going to be a fun season, guys. So still stretching out the Pittsburgh player on the far side of the field. As a reminder, get connected with high-speed, unlimited internet with QuickCom's networks built with reliability in mind. In town or in the country, get connected with QuickCom Communications. That's 1-800-379-7292. Pittsburgh defense just out there on the field just standing around waiting. Coaches obviously doing what coaches do. Hey, be ready.
Well,
watch the outside. Watch the pass. You know what coaches do.
I would assume they'd be over here getting more water to keep them hydrated.
Right?
You know? I mean, you got one down with a cramp.
Got back-to-back plays where a Chanute player's left due to cramping, then a Pittsburgh player's left cramping, and yet everybody's just standing around sweating. And, yeah, we got a guy coming to the sideline now. I'd be coming to the sideline. Hey, somebody give me a bottle of water.
Well, I think if it was me, I'd be yelling at my managers, why are you not out there with the bottles of water for my players? I mean, it seems like Chanute's managers happen to maybe be in the huddle out there with them. I can't tell.
And is that? Ooh, that's a big loss. That's Matt Smith for Pittsburgh, and he's made some pretty good plays. Especially, he's done a great job of defending Dagan Dean.
Yes,
when
he has.
Dean's been out there at receiver. So we'll see what impact that has. Especially, you figure it's 4-down territory right here. So Chanute's going to have 2 opportunities to score, and it's pretty apparent, even if I don't see Smith coming back in after one play, because he's coming off the field pretty slowly, even if that's a cramp. That appears to be a pretty severe cramp. He's very slow coming off the field. So 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. Trips to the far side. Herb shotgun set. Emling next to him. Going to roll here to this side. And going to look to throw to Custer. Custer there. Touchdown. Blue Comets. Blue Comets with their first lead of the season and the game as they go up 13-7 with 4:16 to play here in the third quarter. The first touchdown of the season for Cam Custer.
Hey, no better time to have your first catch of the night than a touchdown.
Yeah,
catch.
I'll take it. So Buchanan going to line up for the PAT to see if he can't put Chanute up by 7. So snap, hold, kick is up, and that one much prettier.
A lot better.
Yeah, that one splits the uprights. I'll take a 30-yard field goal from Buchanan any day if they look like that. That looked pretty. And what a turn of events we've seen here in the third quarter. After trailing 7-0 at halftime, the Chanute Blue Comets lead 14-7 with 4:16 to play. We're actually going to send it back to the studio for about 30 seconds. When we come back, that much more Blue Comet football. You turned into Blue Comet football right here on Z95.3. Back here in Pittsburg, Kansas, where the Chanute Blue Comets have their first lead of the night and first lead of the season here, as we've got 4:16 to play in the third quarter of this Week 2 matchup between your Chanute Blue Comets and the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons, and all the momentum on the side of Chanute right now. High pooch kick. This one going to go to the far side. Fair catch signaled for smartly by Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh hasn't had the ball on offense in quite a while. As Chanute,
about 8 minutes.
Yeah, Chanute scored on back-to-back possessions without Pittsburgh touching the football. So last time Pittsburgh had the ball on offense, they had a 7-0 lead. Now facing a 14-7 deficit. So split receivers to each side, I formation. Hayden, the quarterback, under center, takes a snap, gives to his fullback. This one going to go right up the middle and stuffed immediately as Kedrick Emling. Whew! Young man, be nice.
I thought the ball had popped out there for a second. They gave him forward progress. They gave him 2 yards of forward progress. Who was that with the carry for them? Was that White again?
That appeared to be, in my best knowledge, J.J. White.
J.J. White.
And White coming off the field, and they had 12 players in the huddle. we're going to get a timeout by Pittsburgh to avoid the penalty, it appears. And, man, the Chanute crowd, the Chanute players, everybody on that far side of the field is loving this right now, Jay, as this 8 minutes and 21 seconds of football we've seen here in the second half is what everybody in Chanute that follows this team is expected to see this season. But what we saw last week at Circle, I mean, Coach told me and Coach talked on Wednesday. He pretty much told me that's not us. That was a soft showing. He said we got to get more physical and we got to be dominant. I've got guys at left tackle, at left guard, right guard, all along the offensive line that are squatting 580 pounds, are benching 300 pounds, and we're letting 230-pound defensive ends run right by them. So we got to be more physical, and that's what we've seen here so far in the second half of this one.
Absolutely. They've been real physical, just like on that last play there, defensive line just impressing their will.
Yeah, defensive line doing their job, and then there in the middle, the linebackers plugging those holes, and, yeah, we see Leedy back out there on the field on defense. 2 receivers to the near side. Now Rolf's going to go in motion. They're going to give to the fullback. That's White. Good job in the middle there. That was Leedy staying honest, staying true to his position, and making sure White doesn't pick up enough for the first down. And that was a good play design by Pittsburgh as they gave it quick to the fullback, but then tried to fake the screen pass. As it looked like most of the secondary actually went towards the screen pass that wasn't there. But Leedy doing a good job staying home there in the middle and setting up a 3rd and 4 here for the Pittsburgh offense.
Yeah, the linebackers stayed right where they needed to stay and didn't bite on the fake.
Yeah, tight formation now. Tight end going to go in motion. Now the other tight end in motion. Hayden gets the snap, pitches it out to Rolfs, and Rolf's going to be met
stood him up
nearly immediately. He'll get about 2 on the carry after the lean forward, but that's going to set up a 4th and 2 and a very, very interesting decision here, for Pittsburgh. We'll say 4th and 1 even. And it appears they just stopped. They stopped the clock because the player was slow getting up. If the officials stop it, to my knowledge, that player must come off the field, correct?
That's the way I understand it.
Yeah, it looks like there will be a substitution here. So they'll reset the play clock, and, yeah, it'll be White, actually, the fullback. So 4th and 1, long one at that, but 4th and 1 still. And Pittsburgh now scrambling as just now getting the play call in at 10 seconds. Watch the hard count here. Hayden under center. Gets the snap, gives to his back Rolfs, and Rolfs will get enough for the first down. He'll pick up about 3.5 on the carry. And it was a little scary there for Pittsburgh, and a gutsy play call at that, because if they didn't get that, Chanute sitting in prime field position, the chance to go up 2 scores, but Pittsburgh apparently not trusting their defense. I don't know why they should here in the third quarter, as their defense hasn't shown much.
Well, this is shades of Circle last week. They don't seem to be in any hurry.
Yeah. Pittsburgh looking to throw, and see if we get a defensive holding call. And Cam Custer going to get away with one here on the near side. And surprised there's not more. There's one coach on the Pittsburgh sideline. But good. It was a good hook and go there by Austin McKinney. And Cam Custer knew he was going to get beat and just pushed McKinney. And McKinney just tried to fight through it, didn't sell it or anything. And the official just missed it.
Well, that happens sometimes.
Sometimes it happens, but that's an incredible break for Chanute, because that would have been a 10-yard penalty and a first down.
Yeah, and that incomplete pass stopped the clock with 1:38 here in third quarter.
Tight end in motion now for Pittsburgh. As Cooper Hayden might be audibling at the line of scrimmage. Now gets the snap, pitches it to Rolfs. Rolfs stuffed immediately. Great job by Dagan Dean getting in the backfield. Also penalty flag on the field, and that's in the defensive backfield.
Ooh, that's probably a hold on the offense where that flag is at.
That's a weird place for that flag to come from if it's a hold, though.
Well, they were pulling out that way. That's probably the back judge that saw somebody going outside with a hold.
And Dagan Dean just came off that corner so fast and
he read that play
Rolfs.
well. long discussion.
Still discussing. So holding on the offense. I decline the penalty.
I would too, 3rd and long.
It's going to set up a 3rd and 13, 3rd and long 12. Yeah, I think that's what Coach Frizzell is talking to the official about. If it's 3rd down right here, I think you decline this penalty and just let it play out, and you let that big stop by Dagan Dean just.
Yeah, I think he declined it.
Yeah. We'll get the official call here from the White Hat. Holding on the offense.
Oh, they're going to take the
penalty. They're going
to
push him back.
Well, you know, with the pressure we've been getting on their pass rush and stuff, this is actually a good call to back them up. I mean, make them go that longer field. Because the clock's winding right now.
I don't know. That's a big penalty, but I know it's 2nd and 23, but I don't know. 3rd and 13.
They're in that rollout formation.
Yeah, trips to the near side. Hayden just going to step up and throw to his receiver. It's going to be incomplete. So now accepting the penalty looks really good.
Yeah, Coach looks really smart right now.
Yeah, so don't listen to us. I mean,
listen to us, but
listen to us, but not guaranteeing we all always know what we're talking about. Football. Talking about football. Anything past that, I couldn't tell you.
Me either.
So 3rd and 23, and I think you probably just need to hold them to about 15 yards or less here.
If you keep them in a 4th and long. Here.
So trips near side, Hayden rolling out under pressure. Just going to throw this one up. It's going to fall. That one looked incomplete as well. It will. So that'll set up 4th and 23, and I think you have to punt now. Even if they complete that pass, where it would have been, it would have set up 4th and about 15, 16 yards. So, 4th and 11 is where that would have ended up being if he would have caught that pass. But even at that, I don't think that Pittsburgh goes for it. I think they probably would have needed to seen 4th and 5, 6 or less to think about going for it.
Right. Well, the defense has done a really good job because Hayden is 1 of 8 in his last 8 passes.
Yeah. So McKinney going to line up to punt. Again, 1:12 to play here in the 3rd quarter. And Chanute an opportunity to make this a 2-possession game now once they retake possession.
Oh, he
bad punt, and that one goes out.
And there's what in the world?
We'll see who this is on. Normally this is just a penalty on both teams, but it looked like Brock Bowman of Pittsburgh and Danny Bolig of Chanute. Trey Dillo in there as well. I guess it was Dillo. Just little extracurricular activities. We're going to get a hold on Chanute. That was the call? It's not the call I expected.
Well, me either,
but it was after the kick, so Chanute will still keep possession and still have pretty decent field position as the punt went out of bounds at the 49-yard line. So I believe they'll mark 10 yards from there. So Chanute's still going to take over at their own 39-yard line. So still good field position. 1:03 to play here in the 3rd quarter. And what is a nearly silent Pittsburgh sideline, Pittsburgh crowd. Yeah, really not a lot of people even moving around. People just sitting down. One young man trying to get the student section pumped up. But even the student section for Pittsburgh just standing there.
Well, the poor guys running the chain gang thought Pittsburgh still had the ball.
And Herb looking to take a shot, looking for Custer. That one's tipped. Oh! And nearly intercepted. I think Custer just looked at Herb and was like, don't throw that.
Yeah, he was maybe triple covered on that.
Yeah, he was double covered with safety help coming from the other side. And luckily it was actually overthrown just a little bit. If that would have been on the money, it probably would have been picked off. But falls incomplete harmlessly, so 2nd and 10 from the 39-yard line. 2 receivers to each side once again. Herb, the quarterback. Herb takes a snap, gives to Leedy. Leedy looking for a hole up the middle. He's got it. Moving those feet as Leedy going to pick up about 7 that time. We'll set up a actually looked like he got closer to 8. That far side official just kept moving down the line. So 3rd and 2 for the Chanute offense.
Well, he could have walked 2 more yards and wouldn't have hurt my feelings at all.
I still think that missed pass interference or defensive holding call that could have been on this near side, that's probably about as much help as you can ask for in a game. So
I can ask a lot.
Trips to the far side. Seamster coming in motion. Herb gets the snap. Going to look to throw. Pass is completed to Dean. That'll be enough for a first down as that one goes for 6 yards from Herb to Dean as the Blue Comets move past midfield. It sets up 1st and 10 from the Pittsburg 47-yard line, and that'll be the last play of the 3rd quarter. So as we head to the 4th quarter, Chanute going to be leading this one 14-7, outscoring the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons 14-0 in that 3rd quarter, and all the momentum riding with the Blue Comets, who are wearing those white tops with the powder blue pants after wearing all white last week. If Chanute can hold on and win this one, we might be seeing a little more of those powder blue pants next week as we go on the road again to Jeff West.
I agree. I wouldn't wear white at all. I wouldn't wear white on white again.
Can we wear dark jerseys next week too? I'm one of those guys. It's like
I'm one of those guys that if we win wearing this is what we're wearing.
We're gonna wear these
week.
for home games.
That's
all right.
That's right. If we're winning, we're wearing these. I will tell the visitors, hey, you got to wear your home jerseys at our place because.
So just want to put this out there that has no impact on the game, really, much of any anyway. This is my favorite thing. Ball's on the 47-yard line at the quarter. Remember last week, the ball was like the 5-yard line. They switch sides. That's the worst. This is great. Everybody just kind of flip-flops and everybody just stays in the middle of the field. This is great. I know we're not down there, but I feel that they don't have to walk or jog 85, 90 yards to the other end of the field.
I think the officials appreciate it, too.
Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely.
Especially the white hat. I mean, he walked 10 yards, and he's where he needs to be.
He's a little older, too, so I'm sure he loved this. But trips to the near side as we start the 4th quarter. Herb going to give it to Leedy. Leedy going to go up the gut, still moving those feet, as Leedy's going to pick up about 6 on the carry, which is great on first down, sets up a 2nd and 4, and as Jay says, stay ahead of the chains.
Well, I got a little ahead of Leedy there on the.
So Leedy now, 13 carries for 126 yards. Keep in mind, 69 of those coming on one play, but still, time you get a 100-yard rusher on just 13 carries, that's a pretty good average. Nearly 10 yards.
Nearly 10 yards, yeah.
Chanute smartly running some clock here, it appears, as they stayed in the huddle for a long time. Seamster going to go in at quarterback as Herb will split out wide in that trip set. And Seamster looking back, checking the play clock. As he'll take the snap at 2 seconds, and he's just going to follow his blockers. Going to go up the middle, and looks like he'll pick up enough for the first down, so that'll stop the clock momentarily as they reset the chains.
Yeah, it looks like he picked up 5.
So, and now Seamster slow to get up.
He was slow to get up earlier on a hit down here.
Yeah. Appears to be cramps again. They did stop the clock again for Seamster, so he'll walk off under his own power, not limping nearly as bad as we saw the young player for Pittsburgh doing earlier. But so Kedrick Imling will come into the game. I assume it'll be Imling going to go to that running back position. Leedy going to split back out in the receiver position.
Herb back in at quarterback here.
So Herb at quarterback, 2 receivers to each side. Leedy at the tailback position. Give goes to Leedy, and Leedy going to be stuffed almost immediately. Maybe picks up a yard. That'll set up 2nd and 9. Blue Comet offense trying to find a way to get more points to make this a 2-possession ball game.
I mean, I know it's early, but
hey,
do you see this is 4-down territory?
Yes. Yeah, in this position it is. unless you get stuffed right here and maybe right there, maybe you try a punt. But trips to the far side. Herb going to look to throw. Got some room over there. Got Dean right in front of him. Passes high and just a little bit behind Dean. And that's a tough break because if he leads Dean, that's probably a 7-yard completion. Sets up a 3rd and short, but just a little bit behind Dean. So that sets up 3rd and 9. It also stops the clock with the incomplete pass. Seamster are going to come back into the game after taking 2 plays off. So Herb coming back to the huddle with the play call. Again, 3rd and 9 from the 35-yard line. 9:54 to play here in the 4th quarter. I think you're in 4-down territory if you gain 2 yards or more. 2 receivers each side. Herb gets the snap, looking to throw. Going to throw this one over the top to Leedy. Leedy wide open and just out of the reach of Ty Leedy. Great play design as Leedy just had to get through the line of scrimmage to get there. And it's going to set up a 4th down and 9 situation. I'm actually doing, it looks like Chanute going to go quick. I do the pooch punt.
I'd run the exact same play we just ran.
They're going quick. They're going to try to see if they can't get Pittsburgh to jump off sides, I believe. Herb going to step back. Well, watch for Herb to punt this one. Yeah, Herb, deep snap. Gets the snap, going to quick kick it, and see where this one goes to the 10, and it will, where'd it go out of bounds?
At the 1, I believe.
Great punt by Eric Herb. Eric Herb gets that one to roll out of bounds at the 1-yard line, and low-key, Jay, outside of either touchdown, that was the best offensive play of the night.
I agree. I mean, that is.
What a perfect punt by Eric Herb. Oh, my goodness.
The Pittsburgh coaches are down here beside themselves.
Oh, they can't believe it. What a great little extra wrinkle in your playbook. It's at the inside of the 1-yard line. I mean,
yeah, it is almost on the goal line.
It's back there. It's sniffing the goal line.
If you get a holding here in the end zone,
it'd be a safety.
I mean,
you got to stay honest with yourself, but can't give up the big play.
Right.
So linebackers up at the line of scrimmage. And looks like pretty much no gain on 1st down. That one it's number 26 that time, Ethan Rhodes, the 5'8", 140-pound junior. Rhodes limping off. Also limping off is Parker Johnston for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh had 2 players limp off the field. Appears to be cramps, but
I don't think he picked up anything.
I say essentially no gain. Actually, if you look at the far side where the ball marker is, it looks like he might have lost about a half a yard.
Right.
But managed to stay out of the end zone, or at least keep the football out of the end zone.
Well, from this angle where we're at, it looks like the back side of the ball is almost touching the line.
So get those linebackers up. Motion by all 3 tight ends. There's the snap. It's going to be out to Rolfs.
And
Rolf's going to be stuffed in the end zone. And they're going to say he got out of the end zone.
Oh, my goodness.
Woo. Oh, wow. I don't know how he got out.
Me neither. I mean.
Where's that ball at?
And Pittsburgh has another player down.
Yeah, Pittsburgh a player down, and I'm going to take over the reins on the camera real quick. I'm going to do my best to show you this football. If you're watching on the live stream.
That's
where that football is.
That's what I was telling you. It's almost touching the back line.
That football couldn't be much closer. I apologize. I'm all over the place with this thing right now. That football could not be any closer to the goal line. It's 3rd and 11 and a half, or what, whatever you want to call that. But Chanute's defensive line and linebackers doing a great job, just unable to quite stuff this one in the end zone. Big 3rd down play. Keep in mind, a safety makes this a 2-possession game, and Chanute would get the football back.
Well, I mean, even if you don't get a safety here and it's 4th down, you're in prime position. The prime, because if his heels steps back, it's a safety.
So big 3rd down play here for the Pittsburgh offense. Remember, this all came off of the Eric Herb punt, which went out of bounds at the 1-yard line. So shotgun set this time for Hayden. Cooper Hayden gets the snap, going to look to throw, going to lob it up deep, and ball is knocked away. Pittsburgh,
nice play.
Yeah, good defense there on this sideline. I think that was Sean Williams once again.
Oh,
and
number 4. Yeah, cramping up, I believe.
Williams coming up slow, but great job. I don't hate the play call there.
No,
because there was also Williams got beat on the double move. Let's put that out there. But he recovered great. The ball was just a hair underthrown.
Yeah, if he leads that receiver, it's tie ball game.
Yeah. If that ball was a little bit lower in, say, a yard and a half, 2 yards further, like Jay said, it's probably tied up at 14 with 8 minutes to play. But 8:15 to play, 4th and 11 here. Pittsburgh going to punt. And the punter, Jackson McKechnie, heels on the white as he gets the snap, gets rid of it quickly. And Seamster calls for the fair catch, but doesn't get it. And a little bit of an unfortunate break there as this one rolls out to the 48-yard line. So a 47.5-yard punt. But Chanute still sitting in prime field position as they are on the Pittsburgh side of the field. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Pittsburgh 48-yard line. And the clock on your side.
That's right. I mean, I hate to say this, but we need to run the ball.
Need to run the ball. But if you score here, the way Pittsburgh's offense is going, points might put this game out of reach.
Very true.
Herb gets the snap. It's low. Herb just has to fall on it. And a bad snap is the worst thing that could have happened there, although Herb able to save it. I guess worst thing would have been if Pittsburgh fell on that one.
Right, but the clock runs.
Clock runs. It's going to set up 2nd and 15, though. Well, the snap looked to just be a little to the left of Herb's left hand as he reached out and was able to bat it down, but just had to fall straight on it. So 2 receivers to each side. Dean and Williams to the near side. Seamster and Custer on the far side. Herb letting that clock run.
Oh, we got a flag here. False start.
Be a false start. And they're calling it on Williams. Williams wanting to know who it's on because he said it wasn't him. That'll push the Blue Comet offense back even further. So clock's still running. Wasn't the worst thing. The clock just runs even more.
Yeah, but it makes it a long ways to pick it up to keep that. Because now we're going to try to throw the ball too.
Probably so. Herb takes a snap, gives it to Leedy. Leedy breaks one tackle now following his blockers. And Leedy going to pick up about 3 on the play. As the clock hits 7 minutes, it'll set up 3rd and about 17. Again, Blue Comets leading 14-7. 6:45 to play now in the 4th quarter. Herb gets the play call. Comes to the huddle. Play clock down to 12. As it looks like Herb will split out as a receiver now. Seamster will be at the quarterback position. Trips to the far side. Seamster gets the snap at 1. Going to come to this side. Tries to follow Leedy. Now cuts it back up into the middle of the field. Gets to about the 49-yard line. But 4 yards is all he will pick up. And that will set up 4th and 12 for the Blue Comet offense, who will look to punt, I think.
Well, we need to watch the block because, like you said earlier, they have gotten close a couple times.
Just set up the pooch punt again.
Why not let the quarterback kick it again?
Yeah, it looks like they're going to bring out the true punt formation here. It's been dangerous so far. Clock running. Play clock down to 10.
We're short a guy.
Seamster coming out onto the field. Good snap to Lacrone. Gets the punt away. Nice spiraling kick. Going to go over the head of the return man. And this one going to be downed.
Oh, he rolled in the end
zone. He rolled
zone.
into the end zone.
Oh, no, they're going to mark it down.
That's a bad call. Going to be downed at the 1 momentarily. Officials discussing.
I think it is where in high school it's where you make contact.
All right, I'll take it.
Well, yeah, we definitely will. I mean, so here we go with Chanute. Sorry, I apologize, folks. Pittsburg pinned inside the 1 yard line again.
Deja vu.
So they have 99 yards to go.
Yeah, to tie it up, or to at least get within one.
With an opportunity to tie, that's right.
And 5:22 on the clock. Not to say this is Pittsburgh's last chance, but times are getting a little desperate here. Officials still discussing.
I bet it's going to come out to the 20.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Nope, they're going to leave it right there. I think they were discussing maybe if their returner touched the ball.
Yeah, he called for the fair catch, and he reached.
He put his hand up, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he made contact with it. So Hayden in the shotgun set, tight end in motion. And Pittsburgh going to roll out, looking to throw. Going to throw it back. And Rolfs gets out of the end zone once again. That's a generous spot, as they'll say he actually gained a yard.
Whew. Was that Rolfs with the catch?
That was
again?
Rolfs, yep. And that's the play they ran earlier that went for about 20 yards but came back on the holding call. So that play has been really close to being there twice now for Pittsburgh, but unable to convert on it. So 2nd and a long 9 for the Purple Dragon offense. Clock now under 4:45. Blue Comets holding on to a slim 7-point lead. 3 tight ends in motion. Hayden under center. Pitches it back to Rolfs. Rolfs looking for some room, and he'll get thrown down after a gain of about 2. So Pittsburgh now at least out of the shadow of their own end zone, but still backed up pretty close, as it will be 3rd and 7 from the Pittsburgh 4-yard line, 4.5. The back edge of that football touching the 4-yard line, it appears.
I wouldn't be upset with a false start or anything right here. Back them up a little more.
I'm never upset when the opposing team has a penalty. So 4 receivers out wide. Cooper Hayden going to take the snap. Looking to throw to the far side. And the pass intercepted! Cam Custer! Touchdown! Blue Comets! Blue Comets go up 2 scores. Great job by Cam Custer reading the quarterback's eyes, stepping up, and taking that one back 5 yards to the house. Blue Comets lead 20-7 with 3:49 to play here in the ballgame. Great read by Cam Custer as he stepped right in front of the receiver and took that one to the house.
Hey, that was
so keep in mind.
Good anticipation right there.
Great anticipation. It's 14-0 Chanute offense, and these defenses are now tied at 1 touchdown apiece.
That's correct.
So Buchanan going to line up for the extra point. Good snap, good hold, and that one sneaks in the left upright. Blue Comets going to go up 21-7 with 3:49 to play here in the 4th quarter. We're going to send it back to the studio for 30 seconds. When we come back, the final 3:49. You're listening to Blue Comet Football right here on Z 95.3. Back here in Pittsburg, Kansas, as the Chanute Blue Comets shocking the SEK right now, trying to come to Pittsburgh on the road and pull off the upset over Pittsburgh. 3 minutes and 49 seconds left to play for the Blue Comets to pick up their first win of the season, and a big one at that. As, again, we've mentioned it a couple times, the history with Pittsburgh, just to put it lightly, it's not pretty.
Well, it's real pretty right now for us.
Yeah, pretty right now as they hold on to a 14-point lead with under 4 to play. Buchanan going to kick this one off. It's going to be another pooch kick as this one will be fielded at the 30-yard line, and falling down immediately is the return man. Let's see a number. That's number 14, Tyler Sutton, the tight end.
Them pooch kicks have been effective tonight.
Well, that's how Chanute got the lead, the first one.
Right.
And then the second two essentially took the return game completely away from Pittsburg.
Well, unfortunately, I think Pittsburgh's going to be out here throwing the ball.
Yeah, I do expect to see a little bit of desperate play here from Pittsburgh as they face a 14-point deficit. Again, Pittsburgh shutting out Labette County last week, 28-0. That game called at halftime, and Chanute outscoring Pittsburgh 21-0 in the second half here. Hayden going to look to throw, now running for his life, and now he'll hit the ground as he's sacked on that play. Looks like Dagan Dean, Caden Seamster in there as well, also Colton Lacrone. So the three-headed monster of Chanute just piling on top of Cooper Hayden for the 7-yard sack. Sets up 2nd and 17. And Pittsburgh trying to go no huddle. Man, that Chanute side is just rocking right now as this feels like a road game for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has to take a timeout. They're so flustered. Look at that Chanute sideline over there, Jay. Put that camera over there on that crowd. This Chanute sideline is going nuts over there. The players on the sideline, the crowd, everybody getting into it. The students over there leaning up on the railing. This is a big win if Chanute can hold on.
Oh, absolutely. And what a way to springboard into the rest of the season.
Yeah, talking to Coach, he knew this was the toughest game on the schedule. And, we touched on it very, very briefly a little bit earlier. Chanute might have overlooked Circle. I'm going to go on record now, and the way we've seen this team play tonight, that might have been the case. And,
Well, you think we could get a do-over?
Well, I don't know. Don't know.
Circle's 4A2, correct?
Yes, sir.
Maybe we'll run into them in the playoffs.
Well, nope. It has to be the state championship game, but.
Oh, well. I think the boys would love another crack at them.
So 2nd and 17. Pittsburgh going to go quick. That's a live ball. That's a live ball. And Pittsburgh will fall on it. That's a big loss. There was a flag on the play. The coaching staff on the Pittsburgh sideline just hands on the head, pulling their headsets off. Clear frustration by the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons on the field, on the sideline, and we're going to have an illegal shift as well. I'm pretty sure you decline that penalty. Yep, that one will be declined, and that will set up a 3rd and 30. 3rd and 30 when you're facing a 14-point deficit.
I don't think I've ever wrote -14 on a pass play before.
That's a fumble. It'll count as a fumble.
But it goes on the passer.
It's still a fumble.
Well,
so 3rd and 30, trips to the far side. Hayden looking to throw, now running for his life, and nearly taken down in the end zone, completes the pass, and slammed to the ground that time by Caden Morley.
What did he have?
So
he picked up 3 yards.
4th and 27. So 4th and 27, clock at 2:28. And got a timeout on the field. Will be on Pittsburgh. That'll be their final timeout of the game. And desperate times now for the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons.
Associated Professional Services. It's cheaper to buy a month-to-month policy from Associated Professional Services than it is to pay to get your license back after getting a DUI. Call Peggy Davidson at 431-9699. Cardinal Drug. At Cardinal Drug, you're probably there to drop off more than a prescription because you don't feel very well. But don't forget to come back and browse a selection of seasonal decor and gift ideas when you do feel better. Bridgewood Cabernet. Bridgewood offers comprehensive benefits, 401k, and competitive wages. Pick up application at 901 West Chestnut in Chanute.
So going to have a 4th and 27 here for Pittsburgh. If you punt, you're essentially giving up, but there's not a lot of 27-yard plays in the playbook.
Well, if Chanute is, I know they're rallying to the ball, but the key is not to give up that deep pass. So I think the coaches got it. They got a couple guys back here deep to prevent that ball from being thrown down here by the first down marker.
As a reminder, some of these highlights will be on the KOAM News at 10 on Channel 7, as Jacob Leonard from KOAM has been here tonight. So could be some fun highlights in this one. Trips to the near side. Hayden going to look to throw. Gets hit as he throws it, and that one will fall incomplete. Blue Comets will take over at the Pittsburgh 14-yard line with 2:22 to play, and this one is all but over. And Hayden, I believe that's Cooper Hayden, getting up slow as he took a shot as he tried to let go of that pass. One of the reasons it was so wobbly. But what a second half, and I don't know what Coach is saying at halftime of these games. Obviously, last week wasn't able to come away with the win, but still a great second half last week against Circle, and now here in this one, outscoring Pittsburgh 21-0. And again, keep in mind the 7 points was a pick six. Each team has a pick six. Cancel those out, and essentially the offenses, Chanute's outscored Pittsburgh 14-0 here in this game.
Right.
So a long timeout here as the possessions change. It looks like Chanute will be actually at the 13, not the 14-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Blue Comets from the Pittsburgh 13-yard line. Again, call Ross Daniels of Daniels Auction Service for on-site or online auction sales, and let Daniels Auction Service bring you the highest returns for your assets. That's 620-431-8536. 2 receivers to each side. Herb gets the snap, gives to Leedy, and Leedy stuffed immediately. But keep in mind, Pittsburgh out of timeouts, and Chanute probably just going to run the ball non-stop here and probably snap the ball at 1 or 2 seconds just to run as much clock. You don't need to score here by any means. Just get the clock as close to 0 as possible.
Absolutely. Just let it tick down.
And Commercial Bank focuses on bringing you products and services that simplify your day-to-day life. Serving Southeast Kansas since 1874. Contact the Chanute branch at 431-3200 or stop by 1315 South Santa Fe in Chanute. 2nd and 13, closer to 14 actually, for the Blue Comet offense. Herb going to take the snap, going to keep this one himself, follows his blockers, goes in up the middle, and picks up about 2. Ball comes out, but well after Herb was on the ground. So, say a pickup of about 1.5. Well,
let's give him 2.
Well, the near side official gave him a gain of about 3. The far side of official just kind of stood there.
It's late. He's ready. He's ready to go to Applebee's too.
He's ready to go to Applebee's. He was just trying to find somebody to go Applebee's with.
That's probably it. Under a minute to go here.
Somebody at home probably thinks, what in the world is with these guys in Applebee's? So 45 seconds on the clock. Snap goes to Herb, gives to Leedy. And Leedy going to be tackled, and clock under 40, so that'll be the last play of the game. No need for Chanute to snap it again. And Eric Herb going to the sideline, getting that crowd pumped up. Now the rest of the team will join him as Chanute celebrating a big road win here on Pittsburgh's turf. What a great win tonight here for the Blue Comets. The Pittsburgh players, cheerleaders, fans, student section in complete disbelief as the Pittsburgh offense was shut down by Chanute's defense. Again, now 5 seconds officially on the clock, but as you can see, teams congratulating each other, and it's officially final. Chanute moves to 1-1 on the season, defeating 5A Pittsburg on the road in an upset win, and what will probably take a lot of the SEK by surprise. And Chanute putting it on record out there that this team is for real. Last week was a fluke, and we've got 6 more weeks to play some solid Blue Comet football.
Absolutely. The defense looked really good tonight. I think if our defense plays like that the rest of the year, that we ain't going to have any trouble winning football games.
Yeah, going to be a fun season indeed. We're going to send it back to the studio for 3 minutes. When we come back, we'll have our post-game show. You've been tuned into Blue Comet football right here on Z95.3.
So what do you want to talk about?
Back here in Pittsburg, Kansas, where the Chanute Blue Comets victorious here tonight, 21-7 over the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons. Again, I'm Brett Shields, joined by Jay McGeary. This is our post-game show here tonight, and the Blue Comets moving to 1-1 overall. And again, 0-0 still in SEK play, as this is not an SEK league matchup, as Pittsburgh, their reasoning for leaving the SEK was as a 5A school, a bigger school. Don't blame them by any means. They wanted to play tougher competition, which, hey, that's what you want to do. You want to play that tougher competition. You want to go play schools from Kansas City, schools from maybe the Wichita area. Maybe I think they play a couple teams from Missouri. They try to get a tougher schedule. But, hey, you know what? Little 4A Chanute comes to town, and in the second half at least, puts it to the Purple Dragons and gives Pittsburg although a little late, a nice parting gift from the SEK.
I think that we gave it to them the whole game. I mean, their only touchdown was on that interception there down here on our end, and other than that, they really didn't ever pose a threat against our defense.
So before we get into some post-game stats, I want to go through some scores around the area that affect Chanute a little bit, and some do, some don't actually. I'll go with some ones that probably don't at first. Humboldt defeating Fredonia 28-26, tight one there over in Fredonia. Some of these are going to surprise you. I don't know if you were looking at my
I didn't look.
Cherryvale beating Blue Stem 45-0. McPherson beating Circle 30-0, so that one got a little more lopsided in the second half.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, that shows you how we know how good McPherson is.
Right.
Circle hung with them there for a while, so last week's loss might not have been as much of a heartbreak as we think. Circle might have a little bit of talent over there. Butler, Missouri defeating Fort Scott 31-22. So SEK showing out there, Butler showing that we're legit. Labette County falling to Winfield 27-7, and this is the one that shocked me. So Independence, who's in the SEK, will come to Chanute, I think week 6, I believe. Don't quote me. They went to Wichita North. Wichita North has the second largest enrollment in the state of Kansas. Second biggest school. Final score, Wichita North 6. Independence 52.
What?
What?
Holy cow. After last week?
And they got shellackled last week by El Dorado. El Dorado just smoked Independence last week. I don't know what changed. Maybe Coach Black had a tough week of practice. I don't know, but maybe Wichita North not that good. But I called those Independence games last year, and actually we didn't get to go to Wichita North because the City League last year, they said no non-league games. Everything was league. So due to COVID, essentially, we didn't get to go. Or actually, Wichita North was supposed to come to Independence. So Independence actually scheduled Fort Scott back-to-back weeks because that was the only team that had an opening.
Right.
But then only played them once because Fort Scott had a COVID issue. That was the story last year.
Well, I'm kind of glad we're past that issue so far this year.
Fingers crossed, knock on wood. Yeah, no kidding. But, last year I talked with Kane Carpenter, who does the play-by-play down there on Indy 102.9 for the Independence games, one of our sister stations. And, we talked all off-season. Who on earth scheduled this game? Why are we going to go to Wichita and get smoked? Why do we have to watch? They're going to come to Independence and be like, what on earth is this? Nope. Other way around. Independence goes to Wichita and just smokes Wichita North.
Well, that's
good for the SEK.
Well, that's the discussion we had on the way over here. Me being a graduate of Independence, I said, who in the world scheduled this game?
Yeah, those were your exact words. Well, not your exact words, but close.
Close enough.
Close enough. But yeah, little bit of a surprise there as Independence showing out for the SEK. Fort Scott getting some points, having a tough game against Butler, Missouri. I didn't have a score on Coffeyville. On the other SEK team, I saw Parsons beat Iola. I didn't have an official score on that, but that was another SEK team. So hopefully they had a good game tonight. So really, Labette County losing 27-7, really the only real bad showing from the SEK, it appears. So SEK maybe after a week one that looked essentially devastating, started to put it all together, and Chanute showing old SEK foe Pittsburg that they're for real. Parsons showing old SEK foe Iola they're for real. Coffeyville had Columbus tonight. I think I know how that game went.
Sure I know how that game went.
I think we know how that game went. No offense to Coffeyville, but Columbus is solid.
They are.
Columbus is a good team. And Jay, actually, if you want to run through some of those stats you've got here tonight.
All right. Well, for Chanute, Herb was 19-24 with a touchdown with 2 interceptions, only 45 yards, but he had that 3-yard touchdown pass down here to put Chanute up 13-7, pending the extra point. And Cam Custard, he had one catch for 3 yards and a touchdown and a big pick six.
He had another 5-yard reception. Just came on the defense side.
That's right. But, hey, so, I mean, Dean had 3 catches for 13 yards, and Leedy had 4 catches for 20 yards, and running the ball, Leedy had 17 carries for 129 and that big touchdown run.
Leedy's still out there running around.
Well, when you're young like that, you can do that. Seamster carried the ball 8 times for 27, and Herb had 9 carries for 27 yards. I mean, we didn't exactly light the world on fire, but
they put together a full team game.
They did.
21 points is more than enough when your defense. Keep in mind, the defense shut out Pittsburg.
Absolutely. And like I said earlier, if it wasn't for that pick six down here, they shut them out completely.
Yeah. I mean, this is a Pittsburgh offense. Cooper Hayden, good quarterback. They've got, their receivers out there running around. They had Austin McKechnie. They had Matt Smith, who looks like a legitimate receiver. The running back, Grant Rolfs, was a tough, strong runner. They had the fullback, J.J. White, who looked good. And Chanute just said no.
Yeah, Rolfs.
Not at all.
Ross carried the ball 15 times for 44 yards for Pittsburgh, and Hayden was 6 of 19, 52 yards passing. I mean, like I said, they didn't set the world on fire either. And also, it didn't help that Hayden had 6 carries for negative 30 yards.
Yeah, that hurts.
The ball snapped over your head and everything. It still, unfortunately, counts. And then their fullback White, he had 4 carries for 14 yards. So, not a whole lot there. Not a lot receiving either. 52 yards passing. So that one, McKenzie, is that how you say his name? McKechnie. He had that one big 23-yard catch, and then he put it on the turf.
Yeah, that was a.
But he did have the INT to make up for it.
Yeah.
So but that was their biggest pass play was that 23-yard one because everything else they tried to run.
Their best play ended in a fumble.
That's right.
And the play of the game, in my eyes, that kept this game in check where it was the 4th down play where Eric Herb stepped back into shotgun formation, took an extra step and a half back, and punted the ball that rolled out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Oh, absolutely.
That was a point where it felt like Pittsburgh got the stop they needed. They were down 14-7 at the time, and that punt goes out of bounds, and the next 4 plays go absolutely nowhere.
Oh, and then we get that pick six.
Well, yeah, that was the next series, but still, we'll go back and watch film.
We will watch.
We'll watch film at Applebee's tonight.
Okay.
We'll say put that on the TV, please. Did have one more score. We were talking about it. Columbus and Coffeyville. That one, Columbus 40, Coffeyville 8. So.
Hey, they scored.
They scored. So every SEK team scored now.
Hey,
that's an improvement. A couple of them coming away with a win tonight, including your Chanute Blue Comets. Again, victorious here in Pittsburgh, which is something that not a lot of broadcasters or anybody for that matter has said a whole lot very many times. So big win for this, not just team, but I'm sure the senior class. It's a prideful moment to get a big win, especially over a 5A school that nobody
that you probably haven't beaten.
Nobody really likes Pittsburgh a whole lot in the SEK, especially with them dipping out. So it's more of a prideful win as well. But Jay, that's about it for tonight.
Good win for us.
Good win for the Chanute Blue Comets. As a reminder, K-State tomorrow on Z95.3. That game will be at kickoff at 6 o'clock. Or shortly thereafter. Also, be sure to tune into the Mark Show Monday through Friday from 10 to 2. Mark does a great job with his show there. And next week, we will be at Jeff West. That is in Meridian, Kansas, which is just northeast of Topeka. So, as I'm sure some of you don't want to make that drive, be sure to tune into us. We'll have the action on Z95.3, and we will also have action on the live stream with the video feed. It's Z95.3 KINZ, the YouTube page there. Find it there. And we'll have pregame at about 6:50. And we'll have pregame also on the radio on Z95.3 following the K-Prep show that starts at about 6:15, 6:20, and then we'll be on around 6:50 after that with kickoff from Meridian at Jeff West High School at approximately 7 o'clock. But that's it. for tonight?
That's it.
All right.
Looking
So
forward to next week.
I want to say big thanks to Mark and Anthony back in the studio. Thank you, gentlemen. Tonight's broadcast has been great, and that is big thanks to you. Also, all of our sponsors. Without you guys, none of this, including the live stream, would be possible. So we thank you dearly. And on behalf of Jay and myself, everybody have a great night. We'll see you next week. You've been tuned in to Blue Comet Football right here on Z 95.3.